San Diego, it's time to fire it up. From the beaches to the ballparks, from the Gaslamp to North County, no one knows America's finest city like he does.
You can't just punt on a Manny Machado prime year.
He's a fourth-generation San Diegan, born and raised in the heart of this community. Passionate, opinionated, and always bringing you the real talk on your teams, your city, and everything in between.
Braden totally knows his stuff. He's ready for the next step. That guy is good.
Live and local, it's the Braden Surprenant Show.
But I think Braden's one of the up-and-coming young stars in the media game in San Diego.
Now, here's your host, Braden Surprenant.
What's up, San Diego? And a happy Thursday to everybody out there in America's finest city. I'm Braden Surprenant. He's Frank Marchese. We are the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each and every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Got to start a little bit earlier than we usually do. You know what? Our boss jumps on the board for the morning show, and then all of a sudden,
We're kicking off early.
yeah, we get added time. Come on, man. He's like, I need to get off early. I've been here since 6.
On Gene Tennis Day of all days.
On Gene Tennis Day. Happy Gene Tennis Day to everybody that celebrates on January 8th. You know, it's already funny. Like, we had Adam Paul in the YouTube chat yesterday go like, it's not Nate Colbert Day. That's in August. I'm sure the Padres actually have like certain days for some of their players. Like in this day, it's probably their birthday and stuff like that.
Yeah, we're not going
We have
by
a different bit on this now because of the entire debacle of what was Shohei Ohtani yesterday. Shohei Ohtani Day yesterday on MLB Network. Happy Gene Tennis Day to all that celebrate.
Yes.
That's one of the many Padres days that it is today. Anybody wearing the number 18. It's also Tony Gwynn Jr. Day today.
It is Tony Gwynn Jr.
So
Day today. Everybody
everybody needs to wish Tony a happy Tony Gwynn Jr. Day today in the YouTube chat during Gwynn and Chris. I got to watch I didn't watch it, but I listened to the salsa challenge, the ghost pepper challenge. Were you outside the studio? Did you stick around? Because did anybody see Adam after he left the studio? Because when he was on air, unfazed by it.
He was
as we predicted. He
was a rock. He was not running for his life afterwards. He did not run out the door. He was a rock.
And he was so predicted. He was so nervous about it.
Yes,
to the point where he was psyching himself out when John and Temecula said, well, here's how the challenge is going to go. You're going to both take a spoonful until somebody taps out. He's like, no, I'm just going to take one. Like, really? Come on, man. You can't outdo Scraby like with 2 salsa dips?
He did, and that was the best part of it. Not just Adam's reaction, but the best part of it was watching Adam go in for a third and then seeing Scraby like flip the switch to getting competitive and
I kind of not get my ass kicked by my
he
boss right now.
He went right in for a third and instantly regretted it. It was the funniest thing.
They brought it back up, and I forgot. I looked at the I forgot about the tie challenge that they did, that Scraby did, and it was like nothing. And I was like, wow, maybe Scraby's got some game with the spice, but apparently not. I don't know what Tony ordered on the tie challenge, but it wasn't good enough for the spice challenge. Adam, I'm yet to see Adam really struggle with anything spicy.
Yeah.
How did he do with the chip again? He like kind of he got a little.
I don't remember that one. Honestly, Scraby played his doing of the one chip challenge during the break before that. So we got to see his reaction to that, which was delayed, but it was still like you could still tell he was hurting a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't remember Adam doing it though.
No, I know Scraby did it. I don't remember Adam doing it. I remember Scraby doing it. I remember he crushed it and he was just eating more and popping off. And then, Adam always goes into these things nervous, and then he has the first bite, and then he starts talking smack.
There was a little bit of that going on.
Yeah, exactly. So that was fun yesterday. I got to see that. That was great. Big thanks to John and Temecula for putting that on for the afternoon show. It was fun to listen to. I'm like Chris and Tony. I ain't touching that. I'm not doing that before I talk on the radio. Because Scraby looked like he was hurting for a while. What did you do? They said great job, Frank, in the background. I didn't see it.
I went in and patted his head with a napkin.
Nice. You got to wipe off the sweat.
Just gave it the whole.
You're like the guy in the corner in a boxing match.
Exactly. Yeah.
Scraby's just getting this. We got another round out of you. I know we get another round out of you. Rubbing his shoulders. Come on, man. Got to get you through this. Judges called it. We got some craziness in college athletics we'll talk about in a second. The aftermath, or really the more reporting on the Damon Williams Jr. situation and how that impacts college football with these contracts that might not fit. And in the entire part of this, it's funny. Like I saw a clip from Scott Van Pelt yesterday on his podcast. Mm-hmm. I think he does a really good job with his podcast. Scott Van Pelt's podcast, he's with Stanford Steve, who does like the game picks on the SVP show. And they were talking about, there's all these different angles now that have been brought up about the consequences of the NIL era and the paying the players era and the transfer portal era. And one that I knew about but not really dug into was the whole legacy portion of it, with players starting in one place and watching them play as freshmen and seeing them develop and then seeing them turn into, and he mentioned a basketball player for Maryland when he was at Maryland that, he started as a freshman, it was okay, worked his way up and ended up being the, Big East or ACC, whatever conference they're in at the time, player of the year. And he's like, you don't see that anymore in college athletics. You're going to see the people that come in as freshmen and then play all 4 years and have this connection to the school and be legacies for that school. And it's totally true. How much we talked about this, and I think it's a little bit different. So bear with me here. But we talked about it, I did, at least on the show, about what the value was of signing Shohei Ohtani before he ended up getting signed with the Dodgers. And I said he's worth whatever amount of money it is because he is going to be part of your organization for generations. Right? Mm-hmm. His name is going to be associated with your school for generations. What's that worth to an athlete? What's that worth to a student athlete? Is it better to have the couple $100,000 up front, or if you're a quarterback, a couple $1 million up front, and then when you graduate and everything's gone, you'd have nowhere to go because you were at 4 different schools and nobody really wants to claim you? Is it just the place that you got the diploma from, you graduated from? I look at that and I go, is that part of the aura of college football that people are going to miss out on? Is that what makes college football and college basketball so special, is that relation to the players? I mean, some people in the comments on this particular clip that got posted talked about, people are still going to watch and they'll just root for a different team every year. I feel like the connection that I have with TCU football, not only that I worked for the team, but I went to school there, and I have that connection that we all went to the same school. And we went to the same school for X amount of years. We're all, alumni. I find that all the time with, high school. And I think Cathedral's a little bit different. I'm sure a lot of people don't want to hear this, but I told all the kids at the banquet, I said, you have no idea how lucky you are to go to this school and the alumni connection they have and the support that they have and how a tight-knit group and a community, that sense of community that is now gone at the college level with NIL and the transfer portal. I mean, there's no connection to some of these players, right? At San Diego State right now, I love the fact that Lucky Sutton is staying another year and Tata Latuli staying another year, right? I mean, Trey White couldn't stay another year. It would be financially irresponsible for him to not stay an extra year. But he stayed one more year than he probably should have. And it's different when they leave to go to the NFL than it is to leave and go to a bunch of different schools and be on 4 different schools, be at 4 different schools in 4 different years. To me, that's the community problem. Now, if you transfer once and you're at a school for multiple years and you connect yourself with that school, I think it's one thing. But that sense of community is gone. And now it's the sense of betrayal, like I see with TCU football and Josh Hoover leaving to go to Indiana because Mark Cuban, who's an Indiana alum, start writing checks for guys to play at Indiana. Are you going to get in a sense that you only connect with the community of your school's football team if they win and it's just on championship teams and then nobody else you really connect with? I mean, this is a sense of community that you don't get at professional sports and what made college sports so special.
And I think also there's part of this where just take all of that out of it, and especially this generation coming up, and really for ours, for some people, there has been kind of like a demonization of universities. It's like, well, your degree means absolutely nothing now because you're saddled in so much debt. So there could be, and I'm presuming here, but there could also be just why should I care about this university that's giving me a worthless piece of paper that I'm going to be paying for the rest of my life? Why should I care about them after I leave? That could also be part of it, and that's not it for all of it, because like for you, you're very much a part of the generation that I'm talking about, and you have that loyalty and that love for TCU. There are always exceptions to the rule, but that could also play a factor in it, is that anything that I'm getting from this university that's going to last me for some time is just debt and bad feelings. So why should I care about where I get that debt and bad feelings from?
I just think from the school standpoint, to me, like, it's almost the difference between like what's better in the long run, the money or the power thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at let's think about and my connections again. This like nobody cares about TCU football. I understand that. I'm using that as an example. Like, there's two quarterbacks I think of now in TCU history that didn't make any money at the school, that are not players that were the ones that got him to, big championship games or made the school a lot of money.
Mhm.
But they're forever they celebrated and heroes as TCU football players. They are two guys, and one of them just happened. They are two guys that like will never buy a drink in Fort Worth,
Yeah.
right? Like that type of legacy in at a university, and it's Bram Kohlhausen and it's Ken Seals. Those are the two players that are now forever in the lore of TCU football. Like, it's the same connection with like Daniel Camarena. Like Daniel Camarena, who's a local kid, right? He went to Cathedral and like he's in Padres history forever for like one play. And that's that was what was kind of cool about, like, you got a little bit of that college sense when Daniel Camarena hit the grand slam against Max Scherzer. Like, he was
Yeah.
never going to be a top
Mhm.
echelon player. He's never getting his number retired for the Padres, but he's in Padres lore because of one play that he made and the fact that he's a local kid. It's that sense of community. I think the fact that he was from San Diego and he was making his debut made that even more special. And you look at like the like, and you can think about it from a lot of different perspectives of like, think about some of these players that have played in town at San Diego State, some legendary players. So Marshall Faulk will always have the connection. Like, what is San Diego State football without Marshall Faulk in that era? Right? I mean, there's a lot of other eras, like Brian Sipe, part of that era too. But in this day and age of college athletics, is Marshall Faulk spending more than a year at San Diego State? No, he's not spending more than a year at San Diego State. I didn't hear the answer from Tom Brady when they asked him. Did you see that clip? I don't even know what he said. I didn't listen, but I saw it circling on
of
Twitter.
him.
He was with, I think it was with Joel Klatt, and he asked them about, I can't remember at the top of my head, but they asked him, like, if you were playing in this era of college football with the transfer portal NIL, are you staying at Michigan?
Yes. He said something along the lines of, my experience at Michigan and the fight that I had every single year to prove myself and to prove myself worthy of playing set me up better for the fights that I would have at the professional level and at life afterwards, to prove that I was the best, instead of just changing and transferring and getting and moving away to avoid that fight and just be given the top spot. So me being at Michigan, it helped me prepare not just mentally for Michigan, but it helped me prepare mentally better for the pros and for life after.
And I
Was
think
more or less.
and you know what? It's funny. Like, I to pay full circle to the banquet I had on Tuesday, I said, you guys will never understand it till you leave. and when you go on to college, right? When I was talking to Cathedral's football seniors that at the banquet, and it was something I didn't understand when I was a kid, right? They're kids, they're children. They have no idea. They see the bag, they see the money. It's hard to say no to that. They have a lot of influence around them that's saying, take the money. But at the end of the day, is this something that they're going to regret 3, 4, 5 years down the road? Because eventually, I mean, for a lot of these cases, you're going to see the money's going to run out and they're going to burn through it very quickly. This is not, they're getting good money, but it's not retire from ever having to work again money. It's not that kind of money. Not with spending habits of teenagers and people in their early 20s. It's not that kind of money. I mean, you could burn through that money very quickly. Just ask Vince Young when he went to Cheesecake Factory. That's a funny story. It's kind of sad now, but it's still funny at the same time. It's something you would never understand until you later on in life look back and realize what that school did to get you to where you're at, how it benefited you, how the trials and tribulations helped you get to the next level, all of that stuff. You just see the bag, you take it, and you're moving on, and you take the road that is with the least resistance.
Yeah, and like Adam Paul is saying in the chat, it doesn't matter what school, because every now and again when I just want to relax, I just drive. I just go and drive.
It's a very expensive hobby.
It is. But I ended up driving past my high school. And
Go
the
Eagles.
one place, yes, exactly.
E-L. You guys spell Eagles properly.
We know how to spell Eagles properly. And I was thinking, like, I'm seeing some of these places from the road and I can't go in, but I'm thinking, like, man, I hated this place growing up. But now, and also because I don't have a university to go back to because I never went, I wish I could go back to those days sometimes. And like going past the high school and looking at it is like, man, I really wish I could just go one more day, go in there one more time.
I don't miss the going to school part, but I do like being at school. That's why I coach high school football. That's another big reason why I love coaching my alma mater. I never left, right? And that's why at our school, and I can't speak for every other school, most of our coaches are alumni.
Yeah.
Because they believe in the school. They believe in, what the program is. They believe in Coach Doyle and everything that he done, and they give back to the school, and they want to be there forever. I mean, those are the type of programs that you create that you don't understand it when you're there, and you learn about it when you graduate. I think a lot of these kids are going to have that regret when they finish and everything's over and they don't make the NFL, and they just have like a little bit of money and they didn't get a degree, and what's next, right? So I think there's some consequences down the road. I think we've already seen a lot of the consequences, and we're about to tell you one more with the Damon Williams situation that I saw that was going to get to. We'll tell you what happened. There's another update to the Damon Williams situation with college athletics, but the unintended consequences from 3 or 4 years ago. Everybody said this is what happens when you start paying players and making there's no rules. You're not going to see a lot of these consequences until 5, 6, 7, 8 years down the road when these players are now out of school. What happened in the Damon Williams situation? We'll tell you about that when we come back. We have an update. It's getting messier. Braden Surprenant Show, off and running. San Diego's number sports station 97 to the Fan. All right, we got a lot to discuss on the show today. We're gonna have a lot to discuss on the show again tomorrow, but we got some news trickling in. I mean, it's funny. I was having some conversations with people about this is the tough months right here. The 2 months before baseball really starts. These are where you earn it with sports talk in San Diego. I mean, in an alternate universe, we're getting ready for a Patriots-Chargers game on Sunday, and this last like 4 weeks has just been cursing about the Texans' loss and then rejoicing, thinking, "Oh, we played the Broncos twice with Trey Lance." But that being said, that's not the universe we live in.
Instead,
I do have some comments about that too. I saw some stuff circling on social media, thanks to our boys at Divine Sports Gospel, retweeting some stuff. He put out the. Did you see that image? I'd say something, but I'd get fined.
yes.
That's exactly what I felt when I then read the tweet that he was quoting from.
Mm-hmm.
About Charger football and Charger fandom. And if you were really a real fan to begin with. Okay, we can talk about that later. Gross. But it's difficult. You have to try to talk about college football. College football is kind of crazy. We talked about the ins and outs of all the things. We're going to get to this Damon Williams Jr. situation, which just took a different turn this morning, according to Pete Thamel. Later on in the show, let's talk about in the 11 o'clock hour, we do a lot of baseball stuff. It's more national baseball, not a lot of news to report when it comes to the Padres. We're going to start breaking down the roster a little bit. We're going to kind of like refresh the roster tomorrow when looking at if the Padres went into a game tomorrow, a 26-man roster, this is what it would look like. Sometimes you forget, like during the winter break, you forget, oh, that's right, we signed this guy. Or, oh, that's right, he's still on the team. Oh, yeah, that's right. They have the bullpen looks like this. Starting rotation looks like this. And then you go, all right, they're going to need some help here. We'll talk about that a lot of it tomorrow. We got college basketball tonight in town. Both the University of San Diego and UCSD are in action. Both games are at home. Both games are on ESPN+. Cal State Fullerton's taking on the Tritons over at Lion Tree Arena. And the Pepperdine Waves are coming in to take on the San Diego Toreros. Toreros trying to bounce back after winning their first conference game against Pacific. They've lost 3 straight. They played Gonzaga really tough last week, only lost by 6, but had a tough road trip going to Santa Clara and San Francisco where they got blown out in both of those games. Should be able to beat a team like Pepperdine who's 0-4 and 5-12 on the season. That game will be at 6:30 on ESPN+. The game at UCSD is a 7 o'clock tip. Torero's favored by 4.5 against Pepperdine. UCSD is favored by 13.5 against Fullerton, who is 1-3 in the Big West Conference. We'll talk about that later on in the show. We got the college football playoff semifinals tonight. Miami and Ole Miss should be a fun game. We got Oregon and Indiana tomorrow. Later on in the show, we'll talk about why I think, and I agree with an article on ESPN.com, the college football playoff finally did what it promised to do and get teams in there that you're not used to seeing and showing that there's more than just 4 teams that could win a national championship as laid out by the seeds of the 5 seed, the 10 seed, and whatever, the 6 seed. 3 of the 4 teams that are in the college football playoff semifinals
are dogs.
Not only dogs, Frank, they wouldn't be in it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
They would be playing in the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And now they have a chance to win a national championship, as everybody thought and predicted at the beginning when they said expand the playoff. Now, the last thing people want is get rid of the committee. There's too many biases involved. There's too many personal agendas involved. Get rid of the committee. Go to 24 teams. Make it all automatic qualifiers. Let's ride. Okay, so that's a lot of stuff that we're going to talk about later on in the show. We will talk some NFL as well. Another coach got the axe today as Mike McDaniel of the Miami Dolphins is no longer the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, which I'm not surprised. I thought he was going to get fired week 4.
Yeah,
that team's not very good.
Yeah, no, he was on a stay of execution pretty much all season.
So what happens when you get a guy that plays Madden to coach your football team that doesn't know what's going on in the Lions. I'm sure he does, but like the way that they built their team with a lot of receivers and the quarterback situation, and it's like, oh, the flash, and then their trenches just got destroyed. You wonder why they weren't very good.
That video of we didn't even have a play called, Max. We didn't even have a play called. That rings in my head. And after the 10th time he said it, I would have taken the suspension. I would have absolutely taken the suspension.
Yeah, he's not very good. Maybe go be an OC somewhere, but he's not a head coach. We didn't even talk about John Harbaugh yesterday in the coaching firings. I mean, a lot of teams that are looking for coaches now. I would imagine Harbaugh gets picked up very quickly.
Yeah.
But now then there's some drama with Lamar posting on Instagram about the firing. People think it's from a positive note that whatever. I think it was going to come down to Lamar Jackson and Harbaugh, and they're like, we'll get rid of Harbaugh and we'll stick with Lamar. I would imagine he's probably going to get a contract extension, but we'll see. We'll talk about that later on the show. All right. Here is the update we have on the Demond Williams Jr. situation. Anybody that didn't tune into the show yesterday, we ranted about it and how stupid college football is with the transfer portal and these contracts that now, with this situation, might not even be enforceable. So Demond Williams Jr. signed a deal to continue playing at Washington. It's a 1-year deal, $4 million. It's like an NIL deal, right? Because they can't be employees. And so he signs it. And then a couple of days later on Instagram, during a funeral at the University of Washington for one of their women's soccer players, he puts out that he's entering the transfer portal, and everybody finds out at the end of the funeral, which is a different story and a different conversation for a different time. And then the reports were like LSU, well, he committed to Lane Kiffin out of high school, and then Jed Fish flipped him to Arizona, and then Jed Fish really tampered with him to get him up to Washington in the first place from Arizona. Nobody wants to have that conversation yet either, Frank. So then they do that, right? And so that's just kind of what this kid has been. He's already flipped multiple times. And so he signs the contract with Washington, and then a couple of days later during this funeral, he announces that he's going into the transfer portal. And then LSU is rumored to have offered him like $6.5 million or $6 million, whatever it is. And so the kid's like, oh, I'm chasing the bag. And there's a lot of things that people were trying to assume with this situation. One was, no loyalty, whatever. Two, it's like, how do these contracts, work out? The Big Ten is trying to fight with Washington, legal action to enforce their contracts. If this doesn't hold up in court and they don't get and these contracts don't live out, then the SEC is going to try to poach everybody. That's another can of worms. But another of the questions that came up was some of the conversations about the agents in college football right now, in college athletics. They're not certified agents. They're not lawyers. They're not certified agents. Anybody can do it. And I think there's some people in town, I've been rumored to hear, that are doing it right now for some high school kids in San Diego to be like their agent and taking like 20% of whatever they earn, which is crazy in itself, because what percentage, we've talked about this before, Frank, I'm throwing you on the spot, what percentage do NFL agents get in negotiations as an NFL Players Association agent? Because there's rules to this. What's the maximum percentage you're allowed to get as an agent in the NFL?
I think you said 20, no?
No, 20% is what the college kids are getting.
Probably
the max you could get as an NFL agent, less than 10.
Yeah.
Well, you know what it is?
Like 5?
It's 4%.
Well.
So now you have agents that are not even agents. They're just like people DMing coaches like, hey, I could get this guy in the portal for you for, whatever. How much are you willing to offer? And they take 20% from this kid. They have no legal sense, no whatever. And people are like, well, maybe they butchered the contract. And so maybe it's an agent thing. It's not an agent thing because Demond Williams Jr. is represented by Wasserman Football, who has most of the clients in the National Football League and throughout professional sports. Wasserman's a big agency. Well, with all of this drama and everything has been circulating around the Demond Williams Jr. situation, the president of Wasserman Football, Douglas Hendrickson, put this out on Instagram today. I guess they make whatever on Instagram, make posts, official statements. I have made the decision to end my representation of Demond Williams Jr. effective immediately due to philosophical differences. DeMond is an incredible talent, and we wish him and his family the best in their future endeavors. This started telling me it's more of a family issue than anything else.
Yeah, I was going to say, let me translate that. Is you are too big of a piece of bleep for me. I'm out.
I'm out. Because now it's like, well, what is the agent doing? Now, he's taking some heat for this. Obviously, he probably advised again. We don't know. I'm not going to assume. We don't know the details. Maybe we'll get more of the details out there. But what it tells me, when an agent is dumping a player for philosophical differences after the player signed a contract and then said he was entering the portal, he did that on his own with the help of maybe some other people in his circle. And the agent was like, what are you doing? Am I reading that wrong? That's what that tells me.
No, not at all. He went against agent advice, and the agent was like, okay, well, I can't help you here. If you're not going to listen to me, what's the point of me telling you what to do?
Right. Now, the agent does work for the player, right? That's how this thing works. But the agent, too, can fire. It's the same thing with a real estate agent, right? Real estate agent could just, fire the client.
You're hiring me to advise you. So if you're not going to listen to the advice that I have given you based off of years of wisdom that I have obtained, what's the point of me advising you at that point?
Well, the thing is, he's not a paid advisor, he's a paid agent. He's there to negotiate for the player.
Well, no, I understand.
And to get him the most money as possible. But that being said, if the player starts to do stuff that the agent doesn't want to be associated with, then it's not a you should do this. If you don't listen to me, we're gone because I'm giving you the advice. The situation is, here's your paths. This is what you legally did, and this is what you should be doing. And if there's a difference where it makes them look bad, because Wasserman looks bad now because everybody started to blame the agents. Now it's like, we disagree. We're not representing him anymore. We're out. That's where this went wrong for Wasserman, is they started getting heat because nobody knew the situation behind the scenes, and everybody was assuming that DeMond Williams Jr. was represented by my cousin Vinny, which wasn't the case. So that's interesting news. This is going to get even crazier. And the other thing, too, is we go back to the situation with Washington, right? In the contract, it says they can set the buyout price for the contract at whatever they want. And there's legalities to this. I mean, LSU, if they really want this kid, is going to have to jump through so many hoops and pay an enormous amount of money when they could just, sign Sam Levitt and be on with their way. I mean, this kid is now, and wouldn't this be typical Lane Kiffin? He gets the guy to do this. He goes and signs somebody else. Kids in the portal now. Everybody that has to potentially sign this guy has to jump through all these hoops to sign him. It's almost like the kid's got a qualifying offer attached to him. You have to give him a draft pick, but it's more. You have to pay to get this guy out of his contract. Kid can't go back to Washington. He's burned that bridge. Even the coach's wife is talking smack about him on Instagram on a Barstool Sports post. What a mess. What a mess. What do you think? 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. It just gets funnier and funnier. I mean, it's sad at the same time. I can't say it's funny. It's funny for us because I told you so, but it's also sad at the same time. This is a mess, and nobody's coming to save him. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. We'll continue the conversation when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show. San Diego Summer Sports Station 97.3 The Fan. 10:42 on a Thursday. All guests on 97 to the Fan. Join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with the crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Rod's birthday today? Do we know that for a fact?
That's the rumor.
Happy birthday, Rod, huh?
That or we just say it every single day, and eventually we'll be right.
That's true. Happy birthday, Rod. There he is. Hopefully Rod's having a day today, huh? Rod, go have a day. What's Rod doing today?
On Kevin McReynolds' Day of all days.
It's Kevin McReynolds' Day today,
Yeah,
too?
happy Kevin McReynolds' Day.
Happy Tony Gwynn Jr. Day, Rod. How about it? The big 4-9. Love it. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. All right, let's get to Ron in La Mesa, my resident Big 12 fan. K-State in the house. Ron, what's going on?
Gentlemen, welcome. Happy New Year to you both, Frank. You're talking about the NIL thing, and it was interesting on Ben and Wood yesterday. They were talking about the great turnaround by Indiana as the best in the world. And, of course, I had to text and tell them that, no, actually it was Bill Snyder, even though it was back in the early 90s. And they came back and go, well, it took him 5 years to turn around and Indiana only 2. Then I reminded them, well, Snyder didn't have the NIL. And this is what we've come to. If you got a benefactor that can write checks, your team has a really good chance of making it to the playoffs. And when I played football back in the 70s, the players got paid. I played with Steve Grogan. I played with Paul Kaufman and Gary Spaney, and they were always driving new cars and stuff like that. So it was there, but not the money that these guys are getting now. And I'm with you, Braden. At some point in time, the NCAA's got to grow a spine, and let's put this thing on a one and done thing. You got one transfer and you get the money. There you go. Guys, have a great week. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Ron. Appreciate it. Yeah, like the biggest turnaround. I know it's Indiana. It's not a brand name, but Mark Cuban's writing them checks. Mark Cuban's writing Indiana checks like he's on Shark Tank. Bringing guys in. Oh, what do you think about this quarterback? Oh, yeah, well, I'll give you, a couple million for 40% stake or NIL. They got Mark Cuban. Like, look at the teams that are in the Final Four. Indiana is supported by Mark Cuban and a bunch of other rich alumni from Indiana. They just finally realized that they could actually pay for players now. Oregon has Nike. Frank, is Nike rich? Does Nike make a lot of money? I don't know. Nike's on every jersey in the United States.
I mean, from what I've heard, I think Nike is pretty well off.
Nike. Phil Knight and Nike supports Oregon. I mean, think about it. Those are two of the teams in the Final Four. Ole Miss is an SEC team. I'm sure they got tons of money all the time. You look at other teams that made the college football playoff. Texas Tech out of nowhere. Not really out of nowhere. They've been decent. But Texas Tech has a alumni that sold his oil company for $4 billion. $4 billion. They spent $12.5 million on their D-line last year. Guess who's sucking up all the players in the transfer portal right now, Frank? There's two teams. One's backed by Mark Cuban. The other one's backed by the oil tycoon.
Mm-hmm.
Texas Tech and Indiana is sucking up every transfer. So, yeah, like Indiana's like a good. It seems like a good story, but at the same time, like, is Indiana really an underdog? Like, is it really like a underdog story? Of,
not
look
anymore.
At Indiana, like, no, they would have Mark Cuban giving them money. I like Indiana. They'd be kind of cool if they won. I think it shows the balance of power in the Power Four at this point in time, and it really shows that anybody that's got money is going to be able to win. But at the same, and it's not the same teams over and over again. But it's not like this gigantic accomplishment. I mean, Cignetti's a good coach. Cignetti also has the backing of a lot of money and got good players. It's not a crazy formula. Oregon's got a lot of good players. They got a lot of resources. The same stuff that we bitch about with the Los Angeles Dodgers and Major League Baseball. There's no cap in college football. They got the revenue share cap. Yeah, that's the same. That's the
That's
same.
cool.
That's the same as the luxury tax. It's the same thing. Whoever spends the most money is going to have a better chance of winning. They're not going to guarantee you to win. Still got to get the job done, but it's going to give you a better chance of winning. And Indiana's getting a lot of money like that. Miami's in a very wealthy area, Coral Gables. Didn't take them very long to get back into the swing of things like they were in the 90s. Carson Beck's making a ton of money. Carson Beck's making more money than most rookie quarterbacks in the NFL.
For a guy from the Ice Age, too. That's a...
Carson Beck, you remember him when he was dating the Cavender twin? I don't even know if they're still dating or not. Do you even know? I don't even know. Talk about Bravo. Again, this is like college football is like a Bravo show. Carson Beck left Georgia, got more money at Miami. And I remember in like August when he was still living with Cavender in a nice neighborhood in Miami that they bought a house. He has like 3 or 4 cars. He was complaining about 2 of his Lamborghinis getting stolen. Like that was like a big thing. And I'm like, I'm sorry, 2? 2?
Yes.
He has 2 Lamborghinis. Like what? I thought he was a poor college kid. What are you talking about? He's got 2 Lamborghinis, living in a nice neighborhood in Miami. I mean, that's the type of money Miami's got.
What if
Cole Brooks is tapped in? He says they broke up. Well, who gets the house then? Are you okay? Are you speechless now?
What if one of them runs out of gas? I have to be able to get around the campus.
Oh God, is that what Carson Beck sounds like?
That's Sid the Sloth impression. He looks like
he
him,
looks
so,
like
yeah.
Sid the Sloth. Oh, that's pretty funny. It's craziness. Absolute craziness.
Yeah, thanks to the SEC.
Stop it. Stop it. It's not a turnaround.
They play in the ACC.
We have a segment later about how this is exactly what the college football playoff said it was going to do. It was going to like level the playing field and give different teams an opportunity. It's done that. Final Four is a bunch of brand new teams in college football, but you can't sit there and say it's like this great turnaround story when Indiana's got Mark Cuban funding them. I don't think you could say that.
I think that pretty much just solidifies the fact that the sentimental favorite really is this year Ole Miss because of everything that's gone on. And as far as we know, they don't have any billionaires backing them. The other 3 do.
They got the traditional money. They got the old money of college football.
They got they got the traditional money and got screwed out of their head coach.
Well, and 2 other coaches, Lane Kiffin said they have to come back. I think it's like their tight ends coach and receivers coach now can't coach in the. What game are they playing? Are they in the Fiesta? I don't even know.
I believe the Fiesta Bowl.
They're in the Fiesta Bowl. They're in Arizona.
I believe so. I'm not 100p on that.
So they don't get the coach in that game. I'd just be like, okay, well, this is it's stupid. The calendar's stupid for college football. That's another thing that needs to get fixed. Is the calendar needs to get fixed with college athletics.
It is the Fiesta Bowl tonight.
Here's something else that just came out. Ryan Karchi retweeted it. Ryan Karchi covers USC for the LA Times. It's expected jersey patches to come to college football by next fall.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Ben Portnoy on Twitter said the Division I cabinet continued conversations on commercial jersey patches during a meeting today, per document obtained by Sports Business Journal. As we reported last week, the group is slated to hold further discussions during the next week's NCAA convention in D.C. Details from today's meeting below.
Are they going to be as big as the bowl patches? Because that would be ridiculous.
Probably. Somebody quote tweeted it because college football Twitter is hilarious, and they put a Cal jersey with an NPR logo on it. Love it. Taking a look at the secondary market for the college football playoff semifinal games. The game that is in the Oregon. Oh, sorry. Hang on. Ahead of the college football playoff semifinals, a check-in of the secondary market ticket prices for the national championship game reveals Super Bowl-like numbers. Get-in price $3,300, midfield price north of $10,000.
It's pathetic.
That's people. Insane, dude. That's insane. That's why these kids are getting paid. Because that's the thing, all right? Like they're making so much money. This entity of college athletics. That's why they have to get. That's why they have to get paid. It's like they're making $10,000 for a ticket. We've had this. We've done this bit before. Is there anything that you would pay $10,000 to see?
No.
If you had money was not an issue.
The only thing I would is if I had a time machine, I could go back in time to see something that I would buy.
There's nothing currently that you would like. You wouldn't pay $10,000.
No.
Guaranteed Mets World Series winner, Game 7 at Citi Field. You wouldn't pay $10,000 for that.
No.
You knew they were going to win.
No.
Wouldn't even do it then.
No.
Neither would I. There is
I
nothing
could buy
I would pay $10,000 for a sports game.
I can buy I don't know, a car with that.
If you want to sit close, the tickets are $23,715 on one of these aftermarket deals. It's in like a club seat. Who does that?
The only way I would spend $24,000 on something is if Freddie Mercury came back from the dead and I could sit front row, center stage to see Queen. That's the only way I would do it.
What's the most you would spend on a sporting event? Like, what's the most important sporting event you would always want to go to? Like, and you knew the outcome of the game. Are you talking New York Mets? Like, what would bring a tear to your eye, team-wise, winning?
A Mets Game 7 win, an Islanders Game 7 win.
But Mets are number one, right? How much would you spend to guarantee you see that in a great seat?
$1,500, $2,000.
$1,500, $2,000. I mean, I paid I think $2,500 for 4 tickets for the national championship game, but I got reimbursed.
That
was for 4 tickets
one.
through college football, so it was like through TCU, and that was like a couple $100, right? 500 was that like just over? I think it was like 7 or 8.
And for me, a great seat isn't like the front row behind home plate. I want to be in the upper tank. I want to see everything.
I paid $625 a ticket for the national championship, and we got smoked. But like I had to do it. I had to go to the national championship. You know, a San Diego Padres World Series, Game 7, guaranteed that they're going to win at Petco Park. How much are you paying for that?
Juan says $500.
$500 for, yeah. I don't know what I would pay for that.
Adam, I don't think he remembers what happened in that game.
No, I was too busy upset. Adam got a free ticket to that game. He got a credential for that game. Some of us paid for tears. And what happened since, Adam? What happened since, Adam? I'm going to say this. Georgia has never been the same after that game. We broke them. We broke them.
I was too busy with my head in my hands. I was too busy looking at the ground.
I stopped watching after the game was 10-7 when Max Duggan scored a touchdown. The game ended. It was just weird. We lost that game 10-7. I don't know. Like, what would you pay? How much do you pay for a Padres World Series ticket like that? Couple grand? We'll talk Padres baseball in the next hour. Braden Surprenant Show.
Go. Right at him. Down, though. It's a good ball, though. 1 foul. What do we bet tonight?
Not a bad idea.
That I'll have more hits than you.
Let's do it right now.
How much do you want to bet?
We'll do $5.
Oh, God.
Oh, it hits the ball in the air. Yeah, sick, dude. What a great leadoff. What a great leadoff.
Yeah. You want to be mic'd up?
Oh. No, Rick. There's the Joel we know. Well, you're lucky I'm a huge target at first, dude.
Someone gassed.
Chell's got to get us in, though. We're screwed next at bat. That's not great.
Zion. Are you? That is the saddest thing. Are you insane? That is sad. No confidence.
You better get a hit now.
It's like Moneyball. He's got no confidence, ugly girlfriend.
Come on, Sam.
Oh, hose him!
Oh, we got it. Can we get a first baseman that can catch? One time, Matt. Nice. All right.
Glasses on too. That's why.
Oh, damn it. Can we score some runs? Play first base. All of a sudden, it's locked down.
Who bats after Q?
I think it's the other team.
Go!
Go!
Show Braden how to run home.
Oh, damn it. Got onto that bad.
Hey, the Surprenant suck.
Come on, Cello.
I can play cello.
Oh, look at the throw.
Oh my God.
Oh, pick me, dude. You can't see it. It sucks.
I can't see anything.
Oh, I crawled back. Did you ask him to buy you a beer after that?
Hey.
Got us beer, dude.
Wow, dude. You serious right now?
He does.
Dude, yeah, Ethan, seriously, dude.
I know. Hey, Ethan, sit next one. You don't boo nobodies. That's what I'm hearing.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Nice ball, Matt. Nice job.
I'm the best. I'm the best.
Hey, good job. Hey, we won. Nice job. Good job.
Good game. Good game, guys. Good game. Good game. Good game.
Let that big guy's going.
Good game. Where do you want me to sign, sir?
Like where you're always.
They'll set the Fox.
No, nobody makes me sign. But I'll whatever you need for your your kids or whatever, like sign ball or anything. Let me know.
You're all over it.
Bet tonight.
Not a bad idea.
That I'll have more hits than you.
Let's do it right now.
How much you want to bet?
We'll do $5.
Oh God!
Oh, it hits the ball in the air. Yeah, sick, dude. What a great leadoff! What a great leadoff!
Yeah. You want to be mic'd up?
Oh. No, Rick. There's the Joel we know. Well, you're lucky I'm a huge target at first, dude.
Someone gassed.
Chell's got to get us in, though. We're screwed next at bat. That's not great.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right.
Zion. Are you? That is the saddest thing. Are you insane? That is sad. No confidence.
Ethan, you better get a hit
Yeah,
now.
it's like Moneyball. He's got no confidence. Ugly girlfriend.
Come on, Sam.
Oh, hose him.
Oh, we got it. Can we get a first baseman that can catch? One time, Matt. Nice. All right.
Glasses on too. That's why.
Oh, damn it. Can we score some runs? Play first base. All of a sudden, it's locked down.
Who bats after Q?
I think it's the other team.
Go!
Go!
Show Braden how to run home.
Oh, damn it. Got onto that bat.
Hey, the Surprenant suck.
If you could answer a San Diego State trivia question, you will win a pair of tickets to San Diego State and Fresno State this Saturday via House Arena tickets. You can buy your tickets at goaztecs.com. We'll talk about that in the 1 o'clock hour. All of our guests join us on the David P. Shapiro fan hotline. David P. Shapiro criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with the crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Let's transition to...
You can go and see the quad 3 opponent, Fresno State. Is that what we determined it was yesterday or 2
Yeah,
days ago?
they're not good. They ass. We had one kid say that, by the way, at the banquet. He goes up there, Frank, and he was like, so at our, this is why our banquets take forever. We do like, you go up there by position, and then I talk about all the kids that I coach in my position, right? And then one of the kids talks about the coach, which was really cool. Shout out Logan Jones, who talked about me during the thing. He dropped a lot of 97 through the fan plugs, which was great.
Who pulled my name out of the hat?
No. I got to coach Logan since he was a freshman. It was great. I almost teared up a little bit. It was good. It was good stuff. Yeah. So you go through that, and then at the end, like we didn't actually do awards this year. No awards this year. But then it gets to the end, and they all the seniors thank their parents, which has now turned into thanking a bunch of different stuff. It's like a acceptance speech after winning an Academy Award.
Thanks to my parents, thanks to Nike, thanks to
my dog,
thanks to Valvoline Instant Oil Change, thanks to
I want to thank my sister who gave me $10 to mention her name. That's how some of the kids were saying. I'm like, all right, this is, what are we doing? Just thank your parents, get off the stage. One of the kids.
This isn't your time. Get out of here.
No, you're supposed to say thank you. We've been here for 4.5 hours. Some of us want to go home. We've already talked about you enough. Just say your thanks to your parents. Let's move on.
What do you think this whole night's about? Celebrating you?
Exactly. We don't need we don't need a super long thank you speech. Thank your parents and get off the stage. One of the kids at the end, he was the last kid to go. He's not a very good player. But he admittedly
wow.
He said, I want to just thank that this is a no-cut sport. Because to be honest, I'm ass. But and then he goes on to say, I had a great time. Thanks his family. He's like, but he literally went up there and said, I want to thank Coach Doyle for this not being this being a no cut sport. Because he basically admitted there was no way in hell he would have been on the football team if they had guts. He literally said that.
Good on you for having a sense of humor, kid.
Yeah,
attaboy.
There was a lot of funny like that. I was just like, oh, okay. And the thing was, is like it wasn't a gigantic shock knowing the kid. You were like, oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So you'd say he was a quad 4 performer on the field, is what you would say.
He's a Fresno State. Yeah. Fresno State basketball. Fresno State basketball has been ass for a long time. They're not good. They're just not good. I don't want to make fun. I mean, whatever, but they're not very good. I'll tell you what kind of win it is. Here's the other thing too. I was talking to somebody about they're arguing whether or not Nevada was a quad 1 or a quad 2 win for San Diego State. Mm-hmm. They couldn't remember what we said on the show. It was a quad 1. But the thing with San Diego State is like them beating Nevada, they could potentially knock them out of the top 75, which then would make it a quad 2 win.
Yeah.
Which is kind of dumb in a sense as well. As of right now, San Diego State is 50 in the RPI.
There you go.
That's pretty good. Try to build their metrics up a little bit. Here's the thing, though. They might lose points just by playing Fresno State. So San Diego State moved up in the RPI last night for a couple of reasons. One of them was like opponents played. So if you ever want to look at it, at warrennolan.com, they have, all of these ranking systems. They have for men's basketball, women's basketball, college baseball, college softball, and the FBS and FCS and football. And when you click on the individual team pages, like you can click on, I went to RPI.net, then you find San Diego State, you click on San Diego State, it gives you their whole breakdown on the website. If you want to follow along, Frank, you could do that on your side.
Yeah, and then I'm posting the link in the chat just in case anyone wants it.
But they have
that's the website.
Your net team sheet. They have the RPI team sheet, your predicted RPI team sheet. So like it'll predict like what all your games are going to be based on the metrics of like who they think is going to win. And then based on those results, it would post like what your final net ranking would be in RPI and all that stuff. That's on the predicted RPI, but they also have what's called impact games. And impact games show you the points that you gain and lose based on teams that you have played and how they've done or how they're doing. And then they have like direct impact games, like San Diego State games are worth a lot more points. If they win, they get a big boost. If they lose, it's a major loss. And then there's certain games like if they play somebody really bad, like even just playing them and winning, you're going to lose points. It's like last night I looked at it because San Diego State played Arizona. Arizona was playing K-State. I don't want to upset Ron LaMesa, but K-State, Arizona beating K-State gave them 0 points. And if they would have lost, it would have dropped San Diego State 30 points because K-State's just not good. So indirect impact games. There's 4 games tonight that impact the Aztecs. Idaho State, Northern Colorado, Long Beach State, UC Irvine, Southern Utah, Utah Valley, and Ohio State and Oregon. Because San Diego State played a lot of those teams.
Okay.
Right? Because San Diego State played Oregon, San Diego State played Utah Valley, San Diego State played Long Beach State, and San Diego State played Idaho State.
Yes.
So how they do impact. So tonight, if Idaho State beats Northern Colorado, which they're not expected to do, San Diego State gains 17.3 points in the RPI. Not places, but points. You have like a point system. They trail mid-Tennessee by 5 points. So Idaho State winning today would just jump mid-Tennessee State. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Theoretically. Now, they have their own schedule of indirect games, but this is how this is calculated. If Long Beach State wins tonight over Irvine, which they won't, they'd gain 21.1 points. If Long Beach State loses to Irvine, which they will, San Diego State will lose 6.3 points. So, like, it's almost a guarantee that the Aztecs are going to drop tonight because the way things are going to play out. Southern Utah and Utah Valley. San Diego State played Utah Valley. Utah Valley, if they win, you get 8.5 points if you're an Aztec fan. And if Oregon beats Ohio State, who's better than Oregon, Oregon gets 11.2 points. If Oregon loses, you lose points. So, based on that, San Diego State's going to move up and down tonight, and there'll be an impact on the RPI, which is different than the net. The net's very similar to that as well, but that's how that works. We were looking up whether or not the Aztecs, what type of quad game this was for Fresno State. Fresno State's 155 in the net and 211 in the RPI. Let's see. They would be. I got to look at the net team sheet again. What did I say? 155 in the net,
Yeah, I think so.
and you play them on home.
Yeah, they're here.
That's barely a quad 3 game. So that's going to be a quad 3 game, and then they're going to beat Fresno State, and they're going to drop out of the 160, and it's going to be a quad 4 game. So,
Well,
So teams they lost to, we need to root for them. Teams they beat, we need to root for. Yeah, everybody that you play, you want to win. For anybody that's like cares about the net and the RPI and all that stuff, like you got to root for the teams that you played. So San Diego State should be rooting for Arizona and Michigan the rest of the way. Boost your rating. The more Michigan beats up on Big Ten schools, the better that game is for San Diego State, and so on and so forth. So we'll see. Same thing with like whatever it is. That's just how the metrics work for some of these things that the committee looks at. So if you want to see a bump in the net, if you want to see a bump in the RPI, if you want to see a bump in Ken Palm, and all of these different metrics, Ben Higgins did a good job explaining that the other day. You want to see them win, obviously. The direct games are their actual games. The wins and losses, they gain points, they lose points, and those are the biggest chunk that you're going to get. Especially when you get to conference play, because all the conference games are going to impact you. And so you're basically going to get a net 0 for most of the conference games based on who you've played. You obviously want teams that you beat to be better than the teams you lost to, if that makes sense, right? Like if San Diego State, San Diego State really wants Oregon to start going on a tear more than they necessarily want Michigan or Arizona to dominate. Clear on that?
Yes.
Make a lot of sense?
Yes.
Okay. That's our college basketball view for you. We were going to get into some baseball here in a second. We have more news on the hot stove, and we have some news of the Padres fans with the season tickets. We don't really have time for either of those things. But let's just real quick, we're going to look at this tomorrow, the Padres roster, because I heard AJ Cassville on with Gwen and Chris. And they're asking a lot of different questions. A lot of them are pretty much the same answers that we had the last time we had this roster, which has been since the last signing they had, which was the guy from Korea. Song? What's his name?
Sung Moon Song.
Sung Moon Song. And so nothing has really changed. But if you start looking at like the depth chart, you look at the catching situation. The thing that was interesting from AJ Cassville, he mentioned that this is what he would do. He thinks that the Padres will bring in another catcher to compete with Freddie Fermin, or to compete with Luis Campusano, right? He just doesn't want to go in with Luis Campusano automatically being the backup catcher. Maybe the third catcher becomes another bench piece. Currently at first base, Jake Cronenworth, Gavin Sheets. They got Will Wagner listed on the depth chart for that. But you got Sung Moon Song that's listed at second base and third base with Jake Cronenworth, Manny Machado, Xander Bogaerts on the roster. Outfield, Ramon Laureano, Bryce Johnson. Tirso Ornelas is listed on there. So you start looking at the position players for the Padres and some of the additions they made. I still feel like they need another bench piece.
Yeah.
Or at least another bat. The other thing that AJ Cassville talked about was the trade perspective, and he just doesn't see the Padres really trading away bullpen pieces for anything else. And then on top of that, I think it was mostly like if they're going to go do something or sign, it's going to be a bat, which they kind of need. They need one more bat. I mean, they don't, because the question that Chris asked was about Luis Arraez. Like if Luis Arraez's number goes down, or number to sign him goes down, is that something the Padres might consider? And AJ Cassville said all the things that you would think he would say. It was he really loved being in San Diego and the Padres like him and stuff like that. But with the way that the Padres played last year and what they lacked, he finds it hard to believe that the Padres would ever bring back Luis Arraez. I kind of agree with that statement. You need pop, and you only have a certain amount of resources to use, and you've already filled in a couple of the roster spots. I don't know why you would bring Luis Arraez back when you need a power bat, Frank. But we'll see what the Padres decide to do. Some of the stuff with the Padres and the bench pieces, I like the Sung Moon Song sign. We liked it when it happened. But you look at the other places for the Padres, like I don't know. Is it going to be a Tirso Ornelas bench? I just feel like there's a lot of uncertainty when it comes to the bench with the San Diego Padres. But we'll discuss that a little bit more tomorrow when we look at the roster. We look at, some of the pitching staff, some of the arms that got invited on the team. I mean, the active roster is obviously large because you can have up to 40 guys on the active roster going into spring training. I look at this roster from a get-go standpoint, and they got a starting rotation, in my opinion, that is good enough to get you to the trade deadline. Not necessarily good enough to win in the playoffs. They have to address that still. I think the bullpen is probably one of the best in Major League Baseball. And then the position players, you got to get fuel out of your stars. You got to get major fuel out of your Padres stars. And that's where the money's going. That's where the money was spent. Need to have a good year out of Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis Jr. Guys like Xander Bogaerts can't have any type of struggling start to the season. And they will be in good shape. I'm also curious, and I keep forgetting about the World Baseball Classic. I'm curious how the World Baseball Classic impacts this. Because the last handful of years when talking about managers of the Padres, not a lot of them got an opportunity to get a full offseason, right? Go back to 2020. COVID year. Not a full offseason for Jace Tingler. Year after that was the kind of half spring training in 2021. 2022, was that the other World Baseball Classic, 2022? Or was that a lockout?
Yeah, no, I believe it was 2022 was the WBC, then 23 was the lockout.
And then 24, 25 finally full seasons. And now you got a brand new manager again and another shortened spring training because you have guys playing on different teams. I am surprised. I thought Jackson Merrill would be on Team USA. I'm a little surprised by that. But they haven't announced all the rosters yet, have they?
Not that I'm aware, no.
2023 was the WBC. 2022 was the lockout.
I thought it was
one or the other.
I thought the WBC was every 4 years, not every 3.
Well, it got jacked up with COVID. They were supposed to play, I think, in 2020, and then everything got messed up, or maybe they're supposed to play in 2021. I couldn't remember what it was. It all got jacked up with COVID, and then they went quick, and I think they're trying to get back on track. But at least with Craig Stammen, though, he's been part of the organization, so it's not like he's meeting a lot of new people. There's a lot of times where you have to where you meet a lot of new people in the organization, and brand new players. Well, they got to meet this guy, the training staff, getting a routine. Craig Stammen knows where he's going. He's been to Peoria multiple times. He's been here. He's been there. He knows a lot of the players because he just played with them not too long ago. But when you look at this Padres roster, and we're going to take a deeper dive into the Padres roster, kind of refresh everybody tomorrow, it's got probably a couple of spots that are up for grabs in the bench. Still needs another starting pitcher. I think the bullpen is set, and then they could really use a power bat. I think the power bat is really the part that the Padres need the most. Because as of right now, we've talked about it before, you got a lot of pure hitter, gap-to-gap hitters. You don't have any power hitters. Xander Bogaerts not a power hitter. Manny Machado hits home runs, but that's because he's a good hitter, not because he is a power hitter. I wouldn't consider him a power hitter. Fernando Tatis Jr., another pure hitter, would not consider him a power hitter either. Mason McCoy, not a power hitter. Both your catchers, not power hitters. Sung Moon Song, we'll see. It's got a little bit of pop from what we've been told, but there's going to be an adjustment period from the KBO. Outfield, Bryce Johnson, not a power hitter. Ramon Laureano's got some pop, not a power hitter. Jackson Merrill's got some pop, not a power hitter. Gavin Sheets is the only power hitter on your team. And you got to find out if whether or not last year was a fluke or if last year was really what you expect out of Gavin Sheets with ample playing time. But they could use a little bit more pop in the lineup. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. When we come back, the latest news on the hot stove that has gone cold. What does Frank have for us in the baseball world? We'll talk about it when we come back. We will also talk about the Padres and a big accomplishment that they achieved yesterday as they announced as a team that involves a lot from you fans. We'll talk about that as we continue on the Braden Surprenant Show on the Baseball Hour, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97 The Fan.
Hey, Tony Gwynn Jr. here. San Diego County Credit Union is honoring local teachers in San Diego County through SDCCU Classroom Heroes. Nominate an outstanding teacher that has positively impacted student lives, and they could win a $500 Visa gift card and be featured on CBS 8. One lucky winner will receive a 5-day staycation at Kona Kai Resort. SDCCU is not big bank banking, it's better. Federally insured by the NCUA. Nominate online at sdccu.com/classroom heroes.
It's the Drive-In to Win triple grand draw for a grand prize of $50,000 at Hyundai of El Cajon. Just take a test drive to enter. You could lease a Hyundai Tucson for just $249 a month. Backed by Hyundai Assurance, America's best warranty.
Remember to listen at 1 o'clock for us to announce today's biggest fan for a chance to qualify for a night in our Odyssey Suite at a future Padres game with all the fan staff. Register your name at 97thefan.com/biggest-fan in order to potentially have your name called. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show. San Diego's number one sports station, 97 through the fan. We're on each and every day from 10 to 2. We got college football tonight. College football playoff. We'll preview that later on the show. Eddie Brown's going to join us at 1:35 to recap the fantasy football season. Congrats to all of you that won a fantasy football championship. Now what do you do in the NFL playoffs? Well, he'll give you some plays to make this weekend if you want to do so. Also, he does do draft coverage, and he will be talking to us a little bit about some players to watch in this year's college football playoff, or at least in the semifinals, that will be big impact players in the NFL in the future. So we got a lot to talk about with Eddie Brown at 1:35. Stay tuned to win Aztec tickets today in the 1 o'clock hour. We're going to be asking a trivia question to get you an opportunity to watch the Aztecs take on Fresno State. That game is on Saturday. We will talk some NFL in the next hour as well. A lot of coaching changes and me on our way with a lot of different things. But as we do in the 11 o'clock hour all the time, it's baseball time. Let's get to the latest news and notes around the cold stove on the MLB.
Okay, so we had a trade come down yesterday that was approved and it went through during our show, but we didn't know the details. Well, now we do. The trade was finalized during our show yesterday, but we did not know who was a part of the trade until later in the night. The Miami Marlins have traded right-handed pitcher Edward Cabrera to the Chicago Cubs for Cubs number 1 prospect, outfielder Owen Casey, Cubs number 11 prospect, infielder Christian Hernandez, and infielder Edgardo de Leon. The trade gives the Cubbies the starting pitcher that they've desperately needed and gives the Marlins the outfield prospects that they have coveted for years to rebuild their outfield. Cabrera is entering his Super 2 year of arbitration with 2 years left on his contract. After that, he will make $3.75 million this season and will not be a free agent until 2029.
Cubs needed a pitcher. Cubs needed to go find starting pitching. They struck out on some of the other free agents out there and some of the players that got posted. This is a cheaper way to get that done. And now they have a pitcher for the next handful of years. We talked about the Cubs yesterday. They got a lot of free agents going into next year. I'm curious to see if the Cubs make any contract extensions with some of the guys that they have. I'm sure they're not done yet. Good move for Chicago. They had to give up Owen Casey, which is a little concerning, noting the fact that half your roster is a free agent next year. But I think it's a good move for Chicago. I don't think it's a great move for Miami.
Casey was the number 1 prospect in the Cubs organization. He's the number 3 prospect in the Marlins organization. Just to show how many young good players that the Marlins have coming up. Will they ever develop? Will they ever be up in the major leagues? Only time will tell. There is a knock-on effect, though. With Edward Cabrera off the market for a trade, the market for Milwaukee Brewers starter Freddie Peralta is expected to really heat up. As we mentioned on Monday, the Yankees, Mets, Dodgers, Red Sox, and Braves have all been reported to have interest in Peralta, with the Mets, Yankees, and Giants having shown interest in Edward Cabrera before being traded to Chicago. Peralta's market was heating up after business resumed on Monday, but now it is expected to kick into overdrive with free agent starters demanding significantly more than Peralta's $8 million for 2026.
I would imagine that the Brewers are getting a lot of phone calls on Freddie Peralta.
Yes.
And they have all the leverage, in my opinion, because, as you mentioned, all these teams need starting pitching. Everybody needs starting pitching. And they need affordable starting pitching, especially with Ranger Suarez and Framber Valdez expected to make a lot of money. You're going to have to wait on those players, I think, if you want their price to go down. There's no guarantee. A lot cheaper to bring in a guy like Freddie Peralta. He's 29 years old. Maybe you can trade and then sign him to a contract extension. I could see why he is a very popular player for a lot of teams that are looking for starting pitching. You just hope that the Dodgers don't trade for him.
Yeah, exactly.
That's basically where we're at on this. Yankees, Mets, Dodgers, Red Sox, and Braves. Those are the same teams that have been interested in every starting pitcher so far.
More or less. We've spoken over the last few days about the market and the latest rumors around top free agent in this year's class, Kyle Tucker. We've now gotten some news and updates on Bo Bichette and an update period on what's going on with Alex Bregman. Bichette seems out of Toronto as several suitors, including the Cubs, Phillies, Yankees, Red Sox, and what would a top free agent race be without the freaking Dodgers loitering around? Alex Bregman seems to be on his way back to Boston, but the Blue Jays and Diamondbacks are looming. The Jays signing Okamoto likely takes them out of the race, and the Diamondbacks and a Diamondback signing really only makes sense if Ketel Marte is going to stick around.
They're not going to replace Marte with Bregman.
No,
That's what you're saying.
The thought would be if you're going to go for it, you're going to make the decision to keep Ketel Marte and then go spend the money to enhance that with Alex Bregman.
That'd be a pretty good team. It'd be a pretty loaded team for the Diamondbacks. That's a lot of money for the Diamondbacks. They figure out a stadium situation yet?
They're going to play in one.
What happens when the A's deal falls through because they can't get the Las Vegas A's? We didn't even talk about that update, by the way.
The Vegas Diamondbacks.
I know
the
that
stadium is already going up, so someone's going to be playing in Las Vegas.
I know that the Diamondbacks had considered Vegas to be part of their market, and I knew that they were playing games in Vegas during spring training every once in a while to try to get the market, and then the A's swooped in and upset the Diamondbacks. So I wouldn't count out the Diamondbacks just yet. But the best part is they couldn't get the update from the A's. Do you want to tell the audience the update on the A's with the entire thing? So we got the update earlier this week that the Las Vegas Athletics and the Vegas Athletics were trademarked. And so the Athletics organization could not their trademark got denied because it's already been taken. And so we all thought like, oh, what kind of place, establishment in Vegas has this? We thought it was some business already, but it wasn't.
Nope, it was not.
I forgot about this. I forgot that this happened when they moved to Sacramento. The contingent, what are they called again?
It
the
is
last bar or something like that?
The Oakland fan group, the last dive bar, bought the trademark.
Well, years ago.
Yes, they did.
They went out as soon as the A's announced they're going to go to Vegas. Instead of buying all the trademarks first and then announcing the move, they did that. They just decided to do that like 2 days ago. 2 years ago, the last dive bar group that was the people in Oakland that were the A's fans that were just like wanted to stick it to Fisher, stuck it to Fisher. So now, if the Athletics move to Vegas, they have to either change their name, which is a long history in Major League Baseball. Because they started in Philadelphia, went to Kansas City, now Oakland, Oaklamento now. They're going to have to either change their name or they're going to have to pay whatever the fans want Fisher to pay to get the naming rights back. Or the trademark name of that stuff.
I cannot
wait. I love
it.
it.
I cannot wait. I'm sure me and Damon Amendolara both are going to be first in line to help them pay for whatever lawsuits they need to fight the A's on this.
They're not going to lose the lawsuit, though, because like the same thing happened with Washington.
No, right. But
when Washington changed the name from the Redskins to the to the football team, remember that one guy just bought a bunch of Washington names?
Yeah.
He says he collects them like it's a hobby of his. And so he bought all of these names as a Washington can't be. They had like a very finite amount of teams that they could pick from because he bought everything close.
Boy, you thought that driving around was an expensive hobby.
You can buy these trademarks for a couple $100. They're not like expensive.
But you have to fight for them if somebody wants them.
Well, you have them. I don't think they have to
if
they
somebody
have to buy them from you.
Right, but if somebody wants them, you do have to fight for them. Like especially in situations like where you become too big that your trademark is becoming more of the item, like Band-Aid.
Right.
Has to constantly fight for their copyright and for their trademark because everyone's just calling a bandage a Band-Aid. It's a Band-Aid branded bandage is what it is. But because people just call it a Band-Aid, it's losing its trademark. So Band-Aid I believe it's Johnson & Johnson has to keep fighting for that trademark.
Right, but like you don't have to do that with the fake names.
Right.
Because it's not like the last dive bar is selling Vegas A's gear. And like,
Oh, no, I'm
that's
just
what I'm saying.
saying-
Like, they don't
no, I'm
have to
just
fight
saying-
for it as much.
I'm using that as an example. You do have to fight for the trademark. If somebody puts up a claim for the trademark, you do have to fight it. You do have to spend money to fight it.
Right.
If
I
you
don't
want
think
to
that's.
keep it.
They're gonna have to try to. He's gonna have to try to buy it from those guys,
Which is,
and they're not gonna sell it.
you know what they should do? They should sell it to him for the exact amount of money it would have cost to build a stadium in Oakland.
Yeah, that's what they should put up.
That is what they should do. Oh, how much is it going to cost you to build a stadium here? $1.4 billion. Well, you can have these names for $1.4 billion. Have fun, dude.
That was the best news that we didn't
Oh
even
my
account
God,
for.
it was
so
so
great.
good.
I totally forgot that they did that a while ago.
So good. All right, last bit of news on the hot stove here. We spoke yesterday about the Mets' interest in free agents starting pitchers such as Framber Valdez and Ranger Suarez. We also said the Mets were leaning towards the trade market with the cost of those free agents being so high. We now have some of the names the Mets are targeting in a trade. The Athletic reported yesterday that the Mets are looking into Tariq Skubal, Freddie Peralta, as we've mentioned, Mackenzie Gore, Chris Bubic, and Brady Singer as, quote, conceivable options for the Mets to attempt to trade for. Biggest problem for the Mets is that they have a general manager who has been reluctant to part ways with top prospects to make one of these moves possible.
Well, Mets keep operating like a small market team.
Yes.
And I don't understand why.
I mean, you have some of these guys. I mean, they for some reason traded away Drew Gilbert last year. That's a head scratcher. But they won't trade Ronnie Mauricio. They won't trade Luis Angel Acuna. They won't trade Kyle Clifford, who now they can't trade because he's going to be their first baseman of the future. What do you have these guys for? If not, like, they're not going to be everyday starters. I think they're going to be good players. I think Ronnie Mauricio is going to be a good player. I think Luis Angel Acuna is going to be a good player. But they're not going to be superstars. You need starting pitching. Bite the bullet, especially if it's going to be for Bubic or Singer, get them out of the National League. I don't understand what this general manager is doing. I really don't.
I have a clarification and an update from the last dive bar.
Okay.
We should play it when we come back.
Okay.
Because they don't own the trademark. They also applied for it and didn't get it.
Oh.
Yeah, here's the tweet from the last dive bar. They have a video attached to it. We're gonna have to listen to it, make sure the guy doesn't cuss or anything. But it says pretty good and spot on commentary by Table Setter Pod on everything that went down. We've heard some wild assumptions. Did we ever say we own the trademark? No, never. Only that we filed before the A's did.
Be a lot funnier.
And at the time in 2024, we said exactly why. And the fact our denial was the same as theirs. The fact we even had the opportunity further highlighting the A's executive team's incompetence once again.
That is, yes. Yeah, usually, like you said, usually before you make the announcement on stuff like that, you
probably have all
usually
your
have
ducks in
the
a row.
trademark already.
Right. So we'll play that clip when we come back. We'll get you an update on the Padres news. Good news for Padres fans out there that continue to show up in full force. We'll tell you what that means when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego Summer Sports Station 97.3 The Fan. Remember, listen to 1 o'clock for us to announce today's biggest fan for a chance to qualify for a night in our Odyssey Suite at a future Padres game with all the fan staffers. Your name at 970thefantasy.com/biggest fan in order to potentially have your name called. Give us a phone call, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. We're going to get to the sports thread in a second. We're also going to talk about the good news for Padres fans and the San Diego Padres about season tickets here in just a second. But first, let's get out to Derek in La Mesa. What's the nervous level for tomorrow's game, Derek? Oregon and Indiana. What are we feeling? How are we feeling almost 24 hours out?
How we doing, men? Happy Ducksmas Eve.
Ducksmas
Hey,
Eve.
I got to call you out real quick, though. Both of you guys. Both you, Braden, and Frankie, two thumbs. Braden said the classic thing, money has no object. Frankie, you cannot tell me if money had no object, you wouldn't pay 23 grand for a ticket for a Game 7, New York Met, World Series victory. Braden, you would pay 23 grand with money is no object, which is what you said, for a TCU natty. That's ridiculous. If
Like I
money had
said-
no object, I'd pay 100 grand to watch Oregon win the natty.
I would
So
I would buy stuff with that. Like I would not
Money's no
buy
object, though, frankly. It's like spending like $5.
I wouldn't buy a moment in time, though. I would buy stuff that I can continue to enjoy. Now, I would absolutely spend that much money. Like if I can go back in time, I put in the chat that if I can go back to the 98 Daytona 500 and get a prime seat for that, absolutely, I would spend that much money without a doubt.
Well, let's ask Derek. How much you spending for the national championship when the Ducks win on Friday?
brother, I'll be there. Well, I mean, I can't pay 23 grand because, again, the caveat is, and this is the thing that I think Frankie missed when you said it, was money has no object. If I was Phil Knight, I'd pay whatever it costs for me to be at an Oregon natty. But to get to your question, yeah, the nervousness level, I mean, I got to tell you, you guys, I was really confident against Texas Tech, even though I had to listen to how great their defense was and how many points they scored. And I got to tell you, I mean, I'm a little bit nervous about the Indiana game, but I'm also very confident. I mean, on paper, outside of maybe the fact that they sacked Moore 6 times in a game and he'd only been sacked 5 times all the way through the season until they played Indiana. I was confident against Texas Tech, and I'm actually confident against Indiana on paper. And paper means nothing. Oregon, athletically, 5 stars, 4 stars, they're far superior. But, man, Indiana's on that magic carpet ride. So I'm looking forward to it. I got a buddy of mine that used to work for Nike that now lives down here. He and I and my best friend, where I go to all the bowl games with, we're going to be ponied up at McGregor's tomorrow. And we're going to be nervous. But you know what? I'm okay. Indiana's on a magic carpet ride, but Oregon's a better football team, I believe, as a homer. So looking forward to it.
Are you worried about the fact that Indiana's average age is 23 and the New England Patriots' average age is 25? It's an old team. It's an older team, Derek. They got some experience, man.
No, 100%. You know what? As much as I've talked this season, as I've talked to you guys, as much as I hate Cignetti, I mean, I just can't. There's something about that guy. I look at that guy, B-Serp, as a football coach. I look at him and I go, the hell does this guy know about football? But I'll tell you what, he's good. He does something right. And that scowl that he has, but I'm a Dan Lanning guy. I've always been a big believer in the fact that even though DeBoer owned him when he was at Washington, the bottom line is the first telephone call from Alabama went to Lanning. And he said, the grass is damn green in Eugene. And I love that guy. And you know what? It's going to be a fantastic football game. I think if anyone blows the other one out, I don't see Oregon blowing Indiana out. I really don't. I think if it's a blowout, which I don't think it'll be an Indiana blowout. But you know what? I think it's going to be a great game. Indiana favored by 4.5. I'm not digging it. I think it's going to be a 3-point game, and let's go Ducks, baby.
When are you booking your ticket to Miami? When are you booking your trip?
Hey, you know what?
You gonna wait for the game first?
Let's see, the kickoff's at 4:30 tomorrow, So 4:30, 5:30 season, 7:30, probably about 8 or 8:15.
All right. Sounds good. He's got to be monitoring the situation to try to get the bet. I have a friend, Derek, that already bought his ticket just in case. I don't know if that's too
you know
much.
what?
It wasn't Drake Hills either. It's our other guy that likes the Oregon Ducks. He's like, I might have to cancel this, but you know what? The only way I'm going to be able to get there is if I buy it now.
That's it, man. Well, I'll tell you what. We went to Jerry World when Ohio State kicked our butt, and my best friend and I flew out there without tickets, sans tickets. We scoped out a bar. We flew out there, and literally I felt like I was doing a drug deal because he and I literally bought tickets from a guy at about 2:30 in the morning in a very affluent neighborhood. And you know what? We might do that. We might just buy, if we went tomorrow, we might just buy plane tickets to Miami and figure it out, because you know what? Duck people make things happen.
Fly together, win today. Derek and La Mesa calling into the show.
Just
make sure Derek picks up his shirt this week or next week, whatever. It's sitting there on the counter.
Well, Derek, also make sure you get a direct flight. Don't do the whole.
Yeah, get a direct flight.
Yeah. Don't do the layover gimmick
too. With like the other thing, like with the buying the plane ticket, it's like that you could get that. You could bank that for the next trip to Eugene if you fly with the right airline. I'd buy a ticket early. I don't think you're going to jinx yourself. I'd buy the plane ticket. Don't buy the hotel or anything like that. Then you're committed.
It's just a vacation to Miami Gardens. Like, well,
yeah, it's not weird. Like, going to Indianapolis or something in the wintertime. But
yeah, everyone does that, right?
No, nobody does that. That game's going to be good. I think tonight's game's going to be good. It starts at 4:30.
It does.
I got USD basketball at 6:30. I got to figure out where to watch the beginning. Should I just go to USD super early?
Yeah, just go to the school, prop up,
post up at the
this way you're ready
the
to
suite
go.
they have like behind the basket. What are you doing here? I'm watching the college football.
Watching the game.
Yeah, can you give me a beer? Thanks. Give me one of those Torero IPAs. Nah, just kidding. Just playing. All right, let's get to today's sports thread.
You know that group chat? The one that's always blowing up with the biggest sports takes, debates, and breaking news?
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me.
Yeah, we've got that too. Welcome to the Sports Thread, where we break down the top 5 stories in sports, just like you would with your crew.
Oh, no! Disaster! What a bad idea!
No filters, no silence, just real talk. Brought to you by QC Kinetics. Stop sitting on the sidelines. QC Kinetics gets you back in the game without surgery. To learn how, visit QCkinetics.com.
Before we start, Frank Newell, I mentioned the Padres have set a new season ticket record. They announced yesterday that they've sold out season ticket memberships for the 4th consecutive year, continuing an unprecedented stretch for demand for the franchise. For the 3rd straight season, the club capped season ticket sales with memberships for the 2026 season reaching an all-time franchise high. People are bought into Padres baseball. They're doing a great job of making the park one of the best places to be, not only in baseball, but in San Diego on a daily basis, on a nightly basis. Throughout the summertime and the springtime. Big congratulations to the Padres and a big congratulations to you fans out there, as we have showed a lot of people that we are a big sports city. Just ask Nate Silver, who tweeted that out earlier this week.
What were fans doing at the end of the season when they got their season ticket emails?
I don't know. What were they doing?
Complaining that the prices went up.
Well, they still pay.
Yet we're still buying them.
Of course.
Fans are
pay for the team.
Fans are frauds.
Number 1.
The Atlanta Hawks have agreed to trade 4-time All-Star Trae Young to the Washington Wizards for C.J. McCollum and Corey Kispert, ending Young's 7+ season as the face of the franchise. Washington views Young as a foundational lead guard to accelerate its rebuild and reunite him with executive Terry Schlenk, which I'm sure that was a big reason why he wanted to go to Washington. While Atlanta pivots to a younger, wing-oriented core and gains financial flexibility with McCollum's expiring contract. Young leaves as the Hawks' all-time leader in assists and three-pointers, highlighted by a 2021 Eastern Conference Finals run, while the Wizards add a high-usage playmaker to address one of the league's weakest guard-led offenses. Does trading a franchise cornerstone like Trae Young make more sense as a reset for Atlanta or as a calculated gamble for Washington's rebuild? and which team is taking the bigger long-term risk?
I think Washington's taking a more long-term risk. I mean, he obviously didn't want to be in Atlanta, and the thing is, it's kind of like the, they say with divorces and these transfer portal and these breakups. I mean, it's kind of a breakup between Atlanta and Trey Young. It's the first time. Usually, if it happens one time, it usually happens the second time. So I think Washington's taking more of a risk in taking on Trey Young, and if you're the Atlanta Hawks, it's time to move on, and you can start fresh. You're not really starting fresh with a guy like Trey Young in Washington.
Yeah, and he's taken Atlanta as far as they can go.
Number 2.
At 83 years of age, Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones says his ultimate goal is to retire as the NFL owner with the most Super Bowl titles, acknowledging he has, quote, work to do to catch Patriots owner Robert Kraft. Dallas is coming off a disappointing 7-9-1 season under first-year head coach Brian Schottenheimer, extending a 30-year Super Bowl drought and making the Cowboys the only NFC team to not reach a conference title game since 1995. Defensive struggles defined the season, including a franchise record 511 points allowed and the firing of coordinator Matt Eberflus, while the offense remained productive behind Dak Prescott. With 2 first-round picks, significant defensive holes, a new financial flexibility after trading Micah Parsons, Jones signaled a willingness to be aggressive this offseason, even, quote, bust the budget in hopes of contending again while Prescott is still in his prime. Is Jerry Jones's renewed willingness to spend and take risks the right move to chase one more Super Bowl, or does it risk repeating short-term fixes that haven't solved Dallas's long-term problems?
Well, first of all, Jerry Jones is not going to retire as the number one owner. How do you retire as an owner, by the way? He's going to sell the team?
Or he's hand it down to his son, yeah.
I mean, he could dream, I guess, but he's up there in age. He still needs 3 Super Bowls. They're not even close to winning a Super Bowl next year. He's going to win 3 of those just to tie Kraft? That's assuming the Patriots don't make it and win it this year, which they could do. They actually have a chance.
Yep.
Noon lunchtime hour when we come back. Jared.
Go ball! Go ball! Off the wall! Hit the weight room! Hughes bat, it has a new bat.
Oh, he's got
and
one.
nobody's gone deep in it with it yet. But he's about to film me do it.
He got on top of it.
Go, 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 go!
Oh, ain't nobody else wearing a water t-shirt. Expand. Ah.
Down!
Oh, yeah. I got it.
Oh.
Easy.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
I'm sorry?
You hanging out with his sister too much that he gets hurt?
Okay,
he gets placed in the
now
IL?
Now that the mics come on, you want to say that
I'm just
story?
saying,
That's
dude.
crazy.
Hey man, he goes to the IL. All of a sudden, you would hang out with his sister. He goes to the IL.
I guess I have a noodle. A large.
Hey, good job,
soft,
Sam.
Wet.
God. Sorry, batting last.
Coming.
Down! Wow.
That was a hose.
Stay down. Good. Please catch it. Nice.
Drink Mountain Valley, baby.
I don't know. He is wearing a Panthers
Oh,
hat.
that's a good one.
What a team guy. Unlike
You know
Matt.
what? Cam Newton.
Selfish. I like Jalen Hurts more. I like Cam Newton. I'll go Jalen
Something
Hurts.
about Flacco, though.
That's why you're batting last.
Something about Flacco, I trust. This gets me going.
Look at that
Oh, look at the
PFP.
PFPs by 1.
It's like it's everything that I
Oh,
want.
good oppo shot.
Nicky,
Oh, Nicky! Out of the way, Nicky! Come on, Ethan! Go, Ethan! Why are you stopping?
Braden running.
This is why we can't win a ball game. We have no awareness on the pass. Like it's just.
Why did he stop?
I expect better from
Everyone
you.
else remember when he's 20 minutes? I didn't want to pass him.
What a team guy. Joel's such a team guy compared
reminds
to
me of Cam
Matt,
Newton
who's
refusing
not
to
a
jump on
not a
that
team
fourth
guy.
Go ball! Go ball!
Off the wall! Hit the weight room!
Hughes bat, it has a new bat.
Oh, he's got
And
one.
nobody's gone deep in it with it yet. But he's about to film me do it.
We got on top of it.
Go,
Go, go, go, go, go.
Ain't nobody else wearing a water t-shirt. Expand.
Ah. Down.
Oh, yeah. I got it.
Easy.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
I'm sorry?
You hanging out with his sister too much that he gets hurt?
Okay,
He gets placed in the
that
IL?
now that the mics come on, you want to say that
I'm just
story?
saying,
That's
dude.
crazy.
Hey, man. He goes to the IL. All of a sudden, you would hang out with his sister. He goes to the IL.
I guess I have a noodle. A large.
Hey, good job,
soft,
Sam.
Wet.
God. Sorry, bad last.
Coming.
Down! Wow.
That was a hose.
Stay down. Good. Please catch it. Nice.
Drink Mountain Valley, baby.
I don't know. He is wearing a Panthers
Oh,
hat.
that's a good one.
What a team guy. Unlike
You know
Matt.
what? Cam Newton.
Selfish. I like Jalen Hurts more. I like Cam Newton. I'll go Jalen
Something
Hurts.
about Flacco, though.
That's why you're batting last.
Something about Flacco, I trust. This gets me going.
Look at that
Oh, look at
PFP.
the PFPs by one.
It's like it's everything that I
Oh,
want.
good oppo shot.
Nicky,
Hey, Nicky! That away, Nicky! Come on, Ethan! Go, Ethan! Why are you stopping?
Braden running.
This is why we can't win a ball game. We have no awareness on the pass. Like it's just,
Why did he stop?
I expect better from
Everyone
you.
else remember when he's 20 minutes? I didn't want to pass him.
What a team guy. Joel's such a team guy compared
reminds
to
me of Cam
Matt,
Newton
who's
refusing
not
to
a
jump on
not a
that
team
fourth
guy.
Go ball! Go ball!
Oh, off the wall! Hit the weight room.
Hughes bat, it has a new bat.
Oh, he's got
And
one.
nobody's gone deep in it with it yet. But he's about to film me do it.
We got on top of it.
Go,
Go, go, go, go, go.
Ain't nobody else wearing a water t-shirt. Expand.
Ah.
San Diego, it's time to fire it up. From the beaches to the ballparks, from the Gaslamp to North County, no one knows America's finest city like he does.
You can't just punt on a Manny Machado prime years.
He's a fourth-generation San Diegan, born and raised in the heart of this community. Passionate, opinionated, and always bringing you the real talk on your teams, your city, and everything in between.
Braden totally knows his stuff. He's ready for the next step. That guy is good.
Live and local, it's the Braden Surprenant Show.
But I think Braden's one of the up-and-coming young stars in the media game in San Diego.
Now, here's your host, Braden Surprenant.
Near lunchtime hour on 97.3 The Fan. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show alongside Frank Marchese. We are here each and every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's Home Sports Station 97.3 The Fan. Thanks for all of you for tuning into our show today. Hopefully you're liking some of the new videos during commercial breaks on the YouTube. So, I sounded old saying that, on YouTube. If we're going to try to add more content to that, and it's different stuff for us on YouTube. So if you listen to the show, it's great. If you come back and rewatch, also awesome. We really appreciate it. You can subscribe to our YouTube page at B_SURP on YouTube. You can also subscribe to the 97.3 The Fan page at 97.3 The Fan on YouTube. We are broadcasting on Twitch. We're broadcasting on X. We're broadcasting on Facebook as well. And you can follow us on social media. It's in the description below on all of the platforms. So be sure to give us a follow. You can follow me on social media at B_SURP. You can follow Frank at FMarks324. And talking about social media, we're going to get to a couple of things today. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about the Padres roster a little bit. Got to give it a refresher, right? I mean, you spend some time during the holidays. You're thinking about family. You're doing all these different things. You know, the Padres season's still time away. You still got some time before spring training. It's football going on. It's basketball. It's hockey. I mean, that's the kind of the part of the year that we're in, but we're getting closer to spring training and need a little bit of a refresher what's going on. So we're going to talk about the roster tomorrow, as well as Dan Szymborski, who puts out a lot of zip projections and WAR projections with Fangraphs and the depth charts. He gave a sneak peek on Twitter today about the Padres roster. We're going to take a deeper dive into that coming up tomorrow. We are going to talk about some of these NFL coaching changes here in the next hour, but I did say this. Now, I do want to ask the question. I think we can get Frank on board here. We do need a contestant for the Midday Sports Standoff here in the noon hour. I have come across, now I've seen the list, so I can't participate. That's why we're doing it like this. I have come across a list of, which I think is funny, a list of places women refuse to go to on a first date, and it's going viral. There's 28 on there. Do we think somebody could take Frank down in this particular list? We let Frank do the Midday Sports Standoff today. Jocelyn's already appeared in the chat.
As someone who is in search of a first date, I think we could do that.
I think this is a good learning opportunity.
It is. It is.
I think this is a room for. You know what?
Yes.
And you know what? Frank said his New Year resolution was putting himself out there a little bit more, talking a little bit more, put him on the end. I think this is a good opportunity to do that.
I believe so. I believe as well. Yes.
There's 28 options on here. 28 things that women refuse to go on a first date. I bet you I bet you a lot of women that listen to our show will be like, that's ridiculous. Some of these might be ridiculous. Some of them might be very informational to a lot of you guys.
Why?
Frank is a formidable opponent at refusing to go places. Also true. Speaking of,
that was a good.
The one that likes to lurk in the YouTube chat is called in. You're early, Jocelyn, if you wanted to be the contestant, but if you want to weigh in on this potential option,
let me ask her which one she wants to do.
Yeah, we can see what she wants to do here. 28 places, a list of places women refuse to go to on a first date, going viral. As I look at this list, I have not really done any of these as a first date, so I think we're okay as I go through. Some of these are absurd. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're a man and you take somebody on a first date to one of these places that I'm looking at, unbelievable. We got to reevaluate. We got to mix it up a little bit. We got to try to be a little bit more creative than this. So I think Jocelyn wants to try to take Frank down. But you know what? It's got to be open. It's got to be fair. At about 12:40, we're going to need you to call in and try to take down Frank in this game.
Yes.
The 28 places women refuse to go to on a first date. Is that what she wanted to do?
Yes,
she
wanted to, yes.
You could start thinking about some of your options.
Oh,
here.
well, I already am.
Buc-ee's is not on the list.
I was going to say, seriously, what woman does not want to go to Buc-ee's?
I agree. I agree. There's some on here I'm like, are you serious? Like, why would you take somebody on a first date here? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? My usual spot's not on here, so I'm
safe.
I'm safe. There's 28 options. There's a lot of options on here. I don't know. What are ideal spots then?
I usually let her pick the first date.
Johnny in the chat, my windowless van is a bad first date? Probably.
Yeah, probably. You know.
Probably not great. I would like to know, honestly, I mean, because Jocelyn's married and has kids now. What was Jocelyn's first date?
Well, we can ask her when she gets on, or she can say it in the chat right now.
Yes. 28 places not to go to. I want to know the places you should go to then.
I usually let her pick because I want her to feel...
you got to pick.
My reasoning is because I want her to feel comfortable and not go to a place that she knows, to where she feels comfortable, because online dating and dating in general is scary, especially for women, because guys suck. So I want her to feel comfortable with where we decide to go. And what better way to do that than just have you pick?
You got to pick the first. You got to do it yourself, dude. You got to do it yourself. You got to take care of everything the first time.
I have no problem picking places after that. Again, if we're going to meet for the first time, I want you to be as comfortable as you possibly can.
You should be able to find a place on your own that makes her comfortable.
Of course.
You should know that.
Of course.
You can't be the guy that's like, oh, just pick whatever. You got to put some effort in. No, Nate. Jocelyn said her first date was an ice cream date, but now ice cream is code for something else that happened afterwards. TMI. Thank you.
Jeez.
If you know, you
and
know.
she said not to read it on.
I didn't see that part. Too many people in the YouTube chat. No! Hey, you put it out there. How about this? Okay. So my friend weighed in.
But am I wrong with that?
You are wrong with that.
Am I?
You should pick a place.
For my reasoning, though, that's why. My reasoning for doing that, it's not because I can't pick. It's not because I'm indecisive. It's because I want you to be comfortable.
You got to pick your own spot. You have to come up with a plan. Now, here's an idea. My friend texted me. Now, she said no on the Buc-ee's, which we were kidding. I mean, obviously, like you wouldn't there's no Buc-ee's here. I mean, if there was a Buc-ee's here, that might change things a little bit. But she said, you can't go to a Buc-ee's unless you go to a drive-in afterwards. Fair enough.
Okay.
Her spot. This is a good, apparently it's a good spot right here.
Okay.
Glider Port is the best first date spot, especially for any type of online dates, like a Hinge, Tinder kind of deal, right?
What is that?
The Glider Port?
Mm-hmm.
It's next to the Torrey Pines, next to the golf course.
I don't go.
It's for people. Well, do you want help or not? Do you want?
No, I'm just saying I don't go up that way. So you giving me landmarks? I have no idea.
It's next to Torrey Pines golf course. It's on the water. It's where the people jump off the cliff with a little hang glider. There's a port for that.
Okay.
And there's parking up there. So you can go watch the sunset. Takes about 30 to 45 minutes, and then you can leave or continue the date. It's a great move. Plus, it's in the pub. So, a couple of things, right? One, it's in public, so it's not weird in private. Two, it's kind of a time frame thing. So you already have an out. You already have an out for the dates when the sun goes down. If the date doesn't go well, you end. You go home. She's got an out. If the date does go well, like, hey, you want to go get a drink or something like that, or get some, you got an option to continue the date. It's not a bad spot. Not a bad spot. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, it's fine. I would do that. Yeah. Absolutely.
Glider Park. She says you got to go. Or Sunset Cliffs if you want to do Glider Park. You know what? That's not a bad.
No, it's not
a bad choice. Not a bad choice. Not a bad choice. Anyway, we're going to ask Frank if he could do it. Now, Jocelyn, you do have to be the first one to call it. If somebody else calls in before you, we can't hold a spot for you at this point. So about 12:45 on the Midday Sports Standoff, it's going to be try to take down Frank on a list of places women refuse to go to on a first date, which is going viral right now. So we'll do that. And it's not a bad. I like the Glider Port stuff. I can't keep track now. The chat's like blowing up as they're all talking with Jocelyn about first date stuff. What did she say? What did she say on here? She was saying some stuff. North County peeps know about the Glider Port. What else did it say? Smash the numbers. College dorm cafeteria worked for me, but my entire hall sat at the next table and stared at us. That's kind of an awkward place to take a date. That's not on the list, by the way, so you can't say school cafeteria.
I'll say this. My friend, one of my friends, I don't know if he might be listening right now. He met his now wife at Purdue.
Purdue?
Yes. Yeah, he is the Purdue. They had a lockdown for a potential violence event on campus, and he just happened to jump over the desk that she was under, and that's how they met.
That is
like
crazy.
He fell in front of her, and they started talking during a school lockdown.
Wow!
Yes.
Oh my God!
Yep. Yes, engineers. They are both engineers, yes.
I would not consider that to be a first date. That was kind of a first meet.
Oh, yeah. No.
Johnny, so going to a funeral is the first bad first date? Yeah, probably. One, girls nowadays like hikes for a first date. And girls have said hikes a lot. I've seen the hike thing. It's on their Hinge profile and stuff, too.
Yes, it is. Every single one of them likes to hike.
The hike and the As much, I think it's funny, though, when girls make fun of, like, a dude's Hinge profile, like holding a fish. I never had one of those on there.
No, I don't
fish enough,
either.
nor do if I'm going to picture it. Like everybody, like every dude right now has got a picture of him holding a fish up on Hinge. I can't imagine that's a swipe right or a heart, whatever. But girls, I have found that when I was on the dating apps, which I hate,
So do I.
I found out that like has every girl in San Diego jumped out of a perfectly capable airplane for skydiving? Every single one of them jumps out of airplanes. They all have a skydiving pic. As much as women like to make fun of men for the fish photo and the playing softball or whatever.
I mean,
it's the skydiving Hinge profiles, the skydiving Tinder, the skydiving Bumble. Girls, stop jumping out of airplanes.
For me, I wouldn't mind doing that because I'm an adrenaline junkie and I'm stupid, which you kind of need to be both in order to do that. But every single girl I come across hiking, okay, that's great. I like hiking downhill. Uphill is kind of a problem for me, but downhill, I got you. And traveling. It's like I'm seeing girls with pictures from like Mexico naturally and Italy and all these places in Europe.
Exotic
and
places.
I'm like, how do you have the money to do this?
They're all influencers.
And then I feel like a bum because I can't do any of this stuff.
No, stop it.
It's like,
go Essex, don't get sweaty on the first date.
Oh, of course not. And I do have a less of a problem being sweaty now that I have 140 pounds of weight off of me. I don't sweat as easily anymore.
Foul on Augie.
What did?
Truthful but uncalled for. Foul on Augie.
He draws the foul.
Skydiving. Dudes know what I'm talking about. The guys driving around, they're in their 20s, early 30s. They know what I'm talking about. They've seen the skydiving. Almost every girl's got a skydiving.
We have a skydiving place by us at Bonita.
Yeah, that's probably where they all go.
Otay Lake skydiving.
Probably where they go. So, friend says, Gliderport, it's not a lot of time. If you get there at the right time, you have an exit strategy. It's a public place, so it's not freaky for the date.
Exactly.
It's free. It's not going to cost you anything. Don't waste money on people you don't know, like that. And it's a good spot. I bet you the La Jolla Tide Pool's probably the same. I bet you could do the same thing with Sunset Cliffs. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you could do on that. But the skydiving pictures on some of these profiles are ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
What else? What was a cliche for some of these pics? To me, it sounds like from what my friend is saying, she's saying it's needs to be public, needs to have an out, needs to be relatively affordable. Those are like the three criteria. And a place where you can talk and like get to know the person.
Yeah,
Like, you don't want to
exactly.
take somebody on a, I don't want to give away answers, but you don't want to take somebody like on a movie.
Yeah, no.
Where you can't talk. That's a waste of time.
Yeah.
That's like later down the road. It's like date 4 or 5 if people still go to the movies anymore. What's the other weirdest thing you've seen on a dating profile?
Oh God. I mean, it's always the cliche now is like they're always holding a glass of wine.
Women love wine, dude.
Which is fine. I don't
I like
care.
wine.
Just because I don't drink doesn't mean you can't. I
Wine's
don't care.
good. Wine's good. It's classic.
You try to find, like for me, I try to find people who've taken pictures at Petco or like at a game, but they never respond back.
Oh, the sporty girl.
Yeah. Which I mean that's not a requirement for me, but it is helpful.
You know what?
It's helpful.
It kind of is though, and this is interesting. Like with the dating thing, with being in this industry, I had this conversation one time with one of our family friends, who has helped a lot. She said like, because one time when I was on a Hinge date, I was like, she knows nothing about sports, and she was like, all right, well then there's no second date. I'm like, well, it doesn't have to be all about sports, and she was like, do you know what you do for a living? And I said, yeah. She was like, you're not like some dude that is just obsessed with sports but works in finance.
Your
life
miss a
is
Christmas
kind of
or two.
dependent on sports. Like everything is sport related for you. Like you kind of have to find somebody that likes them or knows a little bit about them. Otherwise, it will never work to an extent. I think the same thing's probably for you, Frank. Like I think you have to find somebody that likes and enjoys sports because otherwise I mean, that's your life.
I mean, for me, all I'm looking for is someone who understands that I might miss a holiday or two. And that, if I'm being honest, I might make an excuse to miss a holiday or two. You don't need to, we don't need to have a sports conversation. Like for me, I don't often sit down and watch sporting events. Is if there is something that I need to sit down and watch, I'll tell you first.
Got to be well rounded.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I agree. Gotta be
I will
well-rounded.
tell you first. Like I'm not going to be locked to the couch every Saturday and Sunday during football season. That's just not who I am. But if there is something that I do want to watch and sit down and like actually pay attention to, I'll tell you, hey, can we not do something? Can we not go like apple picking on this day between this time, please?
See, my friend appreciates Laz. She a lot of times like, well, isn't TCU playing at that time? I'm like, I don't care about that game. We could do something else. I don't really talk about sports too. I mean, there's a couple of times where I get the this is what I get back. I get the I heard your show today. You've told me already. You've told me, and then I heard your show, and then you told me again. I understand the NIL is ruining college sports. Let's move on to something else. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. NFL coaching changes. We're going to weigh in on some of these and some of the separations, if you will, on the NFL teams and some of these coaches that got the axe and where the next move is when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show. San Diego Sports Station 97.3 The Fan. That was a fun will there be an official Braden Surprenant Show College Football Playoff Championship watch party? We're looking, well, not an official one, but so my guy Nicky P, who's in the chat, he's got a NASCAR photo on his deal. He's an Oregon fan. We've talked about this, right? He's been established now 20 years. He's no longer on the bandwagon, even though he went to USC. That's a different story, another day. We're trying to find a place to go on Friday night to watch Oregon play. A lot of different options out there, Frank.
Would it be gimmick infringement if I played Ben Afquack right now, just as a?
Yeah, because that's not Oregon's thing.
No, that's why I did it first.
Do not associate that with Oregon. Okay. So we're gonna go watch the game somewhere. He threw out a couple of options, and then we threw out a different option. Like, oh well,
did you consult the list first?
It was not the 28 places that your boys don't want to go watch a sporting event at. So the couple ideas, like, the dudes are bad at being creative, but somebody said, like, oh, Players Sports Bar in Kearney Mesa, because Nicky likes whatever. It's centrally located where all those at, and somebody was like, oh, well, that means he was like, Crum will abandon us to go to Sonic instead. Go get one of the Blizzards or whatever the heck they're called over there. I'm like, well, they can't do that. Pete's like, we can go to BJ's, and I'm like, well, then Crum's just gonna eat all the Pazookies, and then on top of that, you can't really watch the game there. Like, you have to me, like, in order to watch a game at a sports bar, it's got to be like an actual sports bar. I don't want to go to Chili's to watch a game. I like Chili's. I love Chili's. Chili's is a great spot.
By the way, my birthday was during the break, New Year's Eve. My mom took me to Chili's. I did not realize that their mozzarella sticks are now like mozzarella pillows now.
Yes, I had one of those.
Yeah. Oh, they're so good. But I got 6 and had 2.
Can't handle the mozz sticks anymore. You know what I did last night? I made my own mozzarella last night.
Oh, boy, look at you.
Have you ever made mozzarella before?
I have not, no.
Well, I saw a recipe. It was like, it's super easy to make mozzarella. Like, I didn't use the correct milk. I mean, there's a specific milk if you're just going to make mozzarella, but we had milk that was about to go bad, and we weren't going to drink it, so you might as well make it into mozzarella. It's actually not that hard.
No,
I don't know how good it's going to taste. I haven't tasted it yet.
Time-consuming is what it is.
It took about 45 minutes. You pour milk into a stovepat. You heat it up to 120. It's got to be whole milk, and it can't be, what's it, pasteurized or something like that? Whatever that it's got to be, it can't be that. So you heat it to 120 degrees.
Yes.
And then as you stir it, because you don't want it to burn. And right around like 110 degrees, it starts like clumping up, which is great. And then you add vinegar, stir it for 30 seconds, take it off the heat, let it sit for 15 minutes, and then you pull it out, and you have this giant clump of cheese which is the curds, and then a thing away.
No way.
Yeah. Take it out of that, and you kind of like try to mold it together. Like, you got to squeeze out a lot of the whey that's extra in there. Throw it in a bowl, microwave it to the internal temperature 160. Then you start like molding it back, throw it in an ice bath, throw it in the fridge.
Nice.
Ice bath for 15 minutes, you got mozzarella. So we'll see what it tastes like. Not great.
Yeah, Nate, that's exactly it. Yes. Nate says, do you want 6 cheese sticks? Nope. All right, let's bread them and deep fry them.
I'll take 100.
I'm on.
I'll take 100.
Exactly.
So let's we're going to talk about the NFL stuff. Our Ohio State fans got a good thing. There's a segment, sports to watch the game. Spots to watch the game. What bars to go watch the sports again? I'm open to suggestions. How about that?
Yeah, we're open to suggestions.
To check out on Friday to go watch the Oregon-Indiana game. I'm looking for a spot. Let's talk about the NFL coaches so we can pay off the tees. All right, so we have the full list of who's gotten axed at this point. It's Harbaugh. Harbaugh got axed, right, from Baltimore. That happened on, was that Monday or Tuesday? Where he got
that
let go.
Was Tuesday.
So he got let go, and that was kind of a shocking move. I mean, if you think about it, if the rookie kicker for Baltimore makes the field goal, it's Mike Tomlin's getting fired.
Yeah.
He misses it, and now Jim Harbaugh gets fired. And here's the thing where I don't understand about Jim Harbaugh getting fired. Okay, I think a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's about time." Like Jim Harbaugh with Baltimore had won a Super Bowl. He had taken them to they had won the Super Bowl. They did with Joe Flacco. They've been a competitor every single year. I mean, they've been in competition. And if you look at what he did with the Ravens, I mean, just look at the last couple of years. They went 12-5 last year. They went 12-5 last year, John Harbaugh and the Ravens. They went 13-4 the year before that. They finished back-to-back division champions, 12-5, 13-4. Lost in the AFC Championship game in 2023, lost in the divisional playoffs in 2024. In 2022, they went 10-7. 2021, they went 8-9. 2020, 11-5. 2019, 14-2. 2018, 10-6. You go all the way back to them winning the Super Bowl, right? They had one bad season in that stretch. They went 9-7 in 2017, 8-8 in 2016, 5-11 in 2015, 10-6 in 2014, 8-8 in 2013, 10-6 in 2012, and won the Super Bowl with Joe Flacco. I mean, every single year, aside from two, they've had a winning record. The guy has a one bad. They're a field goal away from making the playoffs, and this is where Baltimore decides, yeah, we're not going to. It's time for it to go in a different direction. Am I in a bad spot saying this is? I think this is kind of a crazy move by the NFL and by the Ravens. I mean, how much has he overstayed his welcome? They went 8-9 this year. They were a field goal away from potentially going 9-8 and hosting a playoff game. He won you a Super Bowl, and he has had winning records every single year since 2021. And if you talk about his entire tenure, he's had winning seasons in every year but two.
Yeah, it is a bit of an overreaction. I think, especially with this year, a lot of it, they had a bad start because Lamar Jackson wasn't there. Then they started to come back, started to make it interesting in the division again, and then of course they started to lose games that they were not supposed to be losing, and it was just a bad, fluky year for them, which happens. The only other thing that I can think of as to why Harbaugh now is gone is because they think that it's not Lamar Jackson that can't win in the playoffs. It's that they think that the pair of them together can't win in the playoffs. And because of how hard quarterbacks are to find, that Lamar stays, the coach is replaceable, can't fire the players, so let's just fire the coach. And reports were from Harbaugh's agent within a half hour of him getting fired, they had like at least 7 teams call up.
It's 7 teams call. This is John Harbaugh season by season in Baltimore. He got hired in 2008. Brian Billick left in 2007. He was the third coach ever in Baltimore Ravens history. I'm not including the Browns history before they moved, but just in Baltimore Ravens history. In 2008, he went 11-5 and came in second in the division and went to the AFC Championship game. In 2009, they went 9-7, lost in the divisional playoffs. In 2010, I mean, they made the playoffs almost every single year. 2008 made the playoffs 11-5. 2009, 9-7 made the playoffs. 2010, 12-4 made the playoffs. 2011, 12-4 made the playoffs. 2012, 10-6, won the Super Bowl. 2013, 8-8, didn't make the playoffs. That's the first time they didn't make the playoffs. He still went 8-8. 2014, 10-6, made the playoffs. He had 3 years in a row where they didn't make the playoffs, but they had records of 5-11. That was the worst year, 2015. 8-8, 9-7. 2018, 10-6, won the division, made the playoffs. 2019, 14-2, won the division, made the playoffs. 2020, 11-5, made the playoffs. 2021, 8-9, not abysmal. 2022, 10-7, made the playoffs. 2023, won the division, went 13-4, made the playoffs. Lamar Jackson won an MVP. 2024, 12-5, won the division, made the playoffs, lost to the Bills in the divisional playoffs. I don't know what justifies like getting rid of him unless it's internally it's time to change the scenery. But I get along with what you're saying with the Lamar Jackson situation. I mean, maybe Lamar Jackson's not good enough to get the job done.
Yeah, and maybe that could be the case, but I think if you've gotten to the point where you've had the tenure and the record during that tenure that Harbaugh has had, you get to a point where maybe you can't win together. You can't win it together. And again, you can't fire the players. It's a lot easier to fire the coach than it is to find a new quarterback or to trade the quarterback that you have, because there aren't many teams that are willing to take on that financial burden, especially for a quarterback. So I think that's really what it comes down to, is they thought that they could not win it together. They think Lamar Jackson's good enough. They think he's their best bet. And just the way that he and Harbaugh went together, it didn't mesh in the playoffs for whatever reason.
I just see it as a overreaction. I think a lot of NFL teams do that. Like the Raiders, how many coaches are the Raiders paying now? You mentioned it yesterday. I went back and saw the clip. There's like 6 coaches they're paying millions of dollars. They're paying $50 million to coaches that no longer coach for their team, and all of them have been relatively recent. Yeah. You don't want to put yourself in
Pete Carroll, John
that
Gruden,
situation.
Antonio Pierce. Those were just the 3 that I can remember off the top of my head.
I mean, if you look at the Las Vegas Raiders since 2020, like John Gruden was the last 2 years of them being in Oakland.
Yes.
So and there's the Las Vegas Raiders history. They've been in Vegas since 2020.
And also worth noting that John Gruden did not get fired because of poor performance. He got fired because of off-field issues.
Because of those emails that were sent, and he's still getting paid though. So he's still getting paid.
Right.
That they have to pay him. But so Gruden was the coach in 2020. He gets fired in 2021. Rich Bisaccia, the longtime special teams guy, he took over for Gruden in 2021. They hired Josh McDaniels after that. So now we're at 3 head coaches in 3 years, 2020, 2021, 2022. Josh McDaniels gets fired halfway through 2023. He went 6-11, and then he started 2023 3-5. They fired Josh McDaniels. Antonio Pierce takes over. He goes 4-5. They finished second in the division. And so they decided to keep Antonio Pierce, which was stupid. Antonio Pierce gets 1 year. He goes 4-13. He gets fired. Then they hire Pete Carroll. He goes 1 year.
Antonio Pierce is getting an interview with the Giants today and tomorrow, too.
Then they hire Pete Carroll. He goes 3-14. He goes 1 game worse than Antonio Pierce the year before, albeit they had nothing going on over there. They have nothing beneficial. They have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coaches in Vegas in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons. That sounds like a massive organizational issue than anything else. So you look at a team like the Ravens, like you have a good thing in John Harbaugh. You could turn yourself into the Raiders very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
When we come back, it's time to see if Frank can take down somebody in the Midday Sports Standoff, a special edition of the Midday Sports Standoff. If you want to play 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. We're looking at the top 28 places that women don't want to go on a first date at. Jocelyn already wanted to call in, so it's now open. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. We'll get to that when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego Urban Sports Station 97 to the Fan.
Time to play the Midday Sports Standoff. 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. Frank Marchese is going to participate today on the Midday Sports Standoff. If you could take down Frank in some trivia today, you'll be qualified for a chance to win our grand prize. 2 tickets to Sammy Hagar at Dolby Live at Park MGM. 2-night stay at Park MGM Las Vegas and a $100 gas card. Sammy Hagar returns to Las Vegas with his Best of All Worlds Las Vegas residency. Get ready to rock with your favorite hits from the Van Halen years, Sammy solo hits, and more. Only in Las Vegas this March 11th to the 21st and September 18th to the 26th. Dolby Live at Park MGM. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Jocelyn called in super early, and then she disappeared, but we told her to call her back. We told her to call us back. So it's open line now. Let's get to the Midday Sports Standoff.
Welcome to Midday Sports Standoff on the Braden Surprenant Show.
I can't believe what I'm seeing right now.
The ultimate head-to-head battle where sports knowledge and quick thinking collide.
No, it's no good. Are you kidding me?
Contestants will go toe-to-toe with Braden in a sports trivia deal where every correct answer brings them closer to victory.
Down the sideline! Wow! Unbelievable!
But 3 strikes and it's game over.
This is not Detroit, man. This is the Super Bowl.
Can you outsmart Braden? The Midday Sports Standoff starts now.
All right. Playing today is Jose in San Diego. Jose, what's going on, man?
What's up, Braden? How you doing?
I'm doing well. All right, we're going to flip this on everybody. We're going to have Frank participate in the game today. There's no way Frank would have any idea what these answers were. It's going to be a fun guessing game. But it's a new list that's going out on social media. It's going viral. A list of places women refuse to go to on a first date. There's 28 potential answers. We're going to go back and forth. Jose, you're going to start. Then it's going to go to Frank. Whoever gets the most will win the contest. If you guess wrong or don't take enough time, or you take too much time to guess, you will get a ding, and that will be a strike. 3 strikes, you're out, and the other person would win. If it ends in a tie, Jose, you win. You understand the rules? Ready to get going?
Ready.
All right, Jose, can you name me a place on a list of places women refuse to go to on a first date that's going viral?
I would say like a fast food, like McDonald's or something.
Number 8 on the list, any fast food chain. That is correct. So Jose is up 1-0. All right, Frank, let's see how you are.
My guess would be the movies.
Movies is a good guess. That is a correct answer. Movie nights is number 21.
Wow, that far down the list?
That far down the sheet. We're tied 1-1. Back to Jose. Jose, name me a place that women refuse to go to on a first date.
I'd say like a bar or something like that, like a bar. Just
we will give you nightclub. Nightclub will be a correct answer. It's 2-1. I will say this: there are a lot of chain restaurants that are on this list. That will be a hint. A lot of specific chain restaurants that are on this list. Let's go back to Frank.
Cheesecake Factory.
Cheesecake Factory is the number 1 answer.
Wow.
Do not ever take a girl on a first date to the Cheesecake Factory.
Jeez.
That is number 1.
Too many options.
Too many options. That's right. That's right. All right. Back to you, Jose.
I'm going to go one of, like, let's say Chili's or something.
Chili's, number 3. Don't take a first date to Chili's. Back to you, Frank. Name me some place you shouldn't take a woman on a first date, according to women.
Outback Steakhouse.
That's a good answer. But it's the wrong answer.
Oh.
Women apparently like Outback Steakhouse.
Okay.
Or they just didn't think about this
They
one.
want that
Back to
bloomin'
you,
onion.
Jose. Again, a lot of chain restaurants, a lot of date activities on this list as well, and some other things.
I'm going to put some of those chains in my back pocket. I'm going to say like you don't never take them. They never want to go back to your house.
Your house, number 7 on the list. That's correct. Don't do a first date at the house.
Yeah, no, that's
Come on.
so stupid. I didn't even think to think it. I would think the beach. Why would you want to show yourself off in a swimsuit on the first date?
The beach, Frank says. I do not see a beach. We're giving you another chance because this is national. Not everybody can go to the beach.
Okay.
Try again.
Well, I guess to go along with that, like a public pool, I guess.
A public pool. That is not on there.
Oh,
I can only give you so many.
yeah, no, that's fine. You can get a public pool anywhere.
I have to say, I missed this one, so I gave him the credit for nightclub, but it was actually, he said a bar just for drinks. That's actually on the list, number 26. So nightclub is now ruled out. You guys have already guessed that. No points on that one. All right, back to you, Jose. Okay. Frank's got 2 strikes. Jose currently leads 4-2 on this. Can you name me a place that women refuse to go to on a first date?
About something like it, but what about like Starbucks or Better Buzz or something like that?
Starbucks is on there. I will give you 2 points because
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Starbucks and coffee dates were back to back. Why is that different?
Really?
Why is that different? He gets 2 points for that.
Okay.
All right.
So he's got 6. Frank's got 2.
A sporting event.
Sporting events on there. That's number 28. 6-3. Back to you, Jose.
I used to love it, but the movies?
Well, I already said that.
Mm-hmm.
Frank said that. Try again.
Oh, okay. What about bowling or
bowling?
Arcade?
Bowling is on there, number 23. Women do not want to go bowling on a first date, according to this list. You got a commanding 7-3 lead.
You said like
here,
a group.
Jose.
You said like a group event, right?
A group event?
Well, no, like you said, like their activities. Like, are there group events?
I said there's
there?
activities on there.
Okay.
There's
because I was thinking like, why would you do a first date as like a double date or a group of
No,
friends
it's not.
Stuff? Yeah.
Try again. There's other restaurants on there.
No, yeah. Why would you? Skydiving, we'll say. I don't know. I know it's a pop. Okay, so I've lost.
That's it for Frank.
Yep, it is.
Jose, congratulations. You have won the contest. We got 10 of these correct. Does anybody want to keep guessing? Frank, we'll put Jose on hold. You got another chance here. All right, number 1 is Cheesecake Factory. We got that one. Chili's was on there, number 3. There's a couple other restaurants in there, 2, 4, 5.
Museums, maybe?
No.
Museum's not on there. Okay.
Train
museum. No.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
I can't think of anything.
They can't think of other chain restaurants?
Oh.
Think of chain restaurants. You don't want to bring someone on a first date. Like, this place is very similar to Chili's. It's like people mistake them for each other. Eating good in the neighborhood. Fridays doesn't even exist anymore.
No, there are some around there.
Applebee's was number 2.
Applebee's, okay. I always liked Applebee's.
Cheesecake Factory was 1, Applebee's was 2, Chili's was 3.
IHOP or Denny's?
IHOP and Denny's are both on there, 13 and 14, respectively. You're missing at a knockoff Italian place. Nick Monte got it.
Olive Garden?
Olive Garden was number 5.
Good.
Number 9 and 10 are wing places.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
That's number 9. Congrats.
Or Wingstop.
Wingstop. Wings and Things is a local place. Think Cheddar Biscuits. That's number 11. Places that women refuse to go to on a date. They just shut down a bunch of these.
Sizzler?
No. Seafood.
I have been on a first date in Germany. Red Lobster.
Red Lobster. Another one is on. You got Jenny's. The Gym was number 15.
I saw that in the chat, and I went to pack that away for later, and I completely forgot about it. That annoys me.
Number 12 was a buffet.
Chinese buffet.
Number 16 was church.
Oh, okay.
Number 17, Starbucks. Number 18, coffee dates. Number 19, ice cream dates.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's scary now. Number 20 is family functions.
Oh, yeah.
I could totally see that.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Why are you doing that? Don't
those
do that
are,
ever.
See, those are ones that are, now I could see why people lose on, like, are you smarter than a fifth grader? Because some answers are so obvious, you wouldn't even think
who would do that.
Yeah, exactly. What kind of psychopath
I said that,
would do
at the beginning of this hour. I'm like, there's some on here. I'm like, bro, you should never get a date if you take this. 21 was movie night. That includes watching at home, Netflix and chill. Number 22, somewhere that requires a long drive.
Yeah.
23 is bowling, 24 nightclubs, 25 hookah bar, 26 a bar just for drinks, 27 Waffle House, 28 sporting events. Those are the list of places women refuse to go to.
Funeral
on a first
wasn't
date.
on there. Wow. Okay.
Going viral. Yeah, take her to a funeral. Anyway. Are you wearing a William Byron hat?
No.
Somebody asked me that.
No.
No, you're not. All right, 1 o'clock hour when we come back. College football playoff tonight.
Dick City is absolutely a place.
Run that game, brother. Thank you. Yeah. You want a shirt? That's so lame. That what? Swing like this. Where's it gonna go? Left or right? Yeah, I'd rather do that than hit it in the pie.
Hit a ball like that a day in my life. So
Yeah, well, you know, because it's a different sport. That's why. Here, make sure you do the pull-up.
Why don't we swing like that and hit line drives?
Huh? Just hit spraying it. I mean, have you seen Luis Ariz swing a stick?
Yeah, he'll swing like that.
He might do that.
He does that in his practice swing.
10 teams want to sign him. Nice piece. Nice ball, nice ball. That's a run, tied it up. Where's my cutoff guy? That's all I gotta say. Okay, let's go. Like this.
Dick City is absolutely a place.
Run that game, brother. Thank you. Yeah. You want a shirt? That's so lame. That what? Swing like this. Where's it gonna go? Left or right? Yeah, I'd rather do that than hit it in the pie.
Hit a ball like that a day in my life. So
Yeah, well, you know, because it's a different sport. That's why. Here, make sure you do the pull-up.
Why don't we swing like that and hit line drives?
Huh? Just hitting, spraying it. I mean, have you seen Luis Ariz swing a stick?
Yeah, he'll swing like that.
He might do that.
He does that in his practice swing.
10 teams want to sign him. Nice piece. Nice ball, nice ball. That's a run, tied it up. Where's my cutoff guy? That's all I gotta say. Okay, let's go. Like this.
Dick City is absolutely a place.
Run that game, brother. Thank you. Yeah. You want a shirt? That's so lame. That what? Swing like this. Where's it gonna go? Left or right? Yeah, I'd rather do that than hit it in the pie.
Hit a ball like that a day in my life. So
Yeah, well, you know, because it's a different sport. That's why. Here, make sure you do the pull-up.
Why don't we swing like that and hit line drives?
Huh? Just hitting, spraying it. I mean, have you seen Luis Ariz swing a stick?
Yeah, he'll swing like that.
He might do that.
He does that in his practice swing.
10 teams want to sign him. Nice piece. Nice ball, nice ball. That's a run, tied it up. Where's my cutoff guy? That's all I gotta say. Okay, let's go. Like this.
Dick City is absolutely a place.
Run that game, brother. Thank you. Yeah. You want a shirt? That's so lame. That what? Swing like this. Where's it gonna go? Left or right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd rather do that than hit it in the pie.
Hit a ball like that a day in my life. So
Yeah,
why
well,
should I
you know,
start now?
because it's a different sport. That's why. Here, make sure you do the pull-up.
Why don't we swing like that to hit line drives?
Huh? Just hitting, spraying it. I mean, have you seen Luis Ariz swing a stick?
Yeah, he don't swing like that.
He might do that.
He does that as practice.
I hope you learned something today. We got some date ideas now?
Well, no, I learned that my date ideas are actually pretty good because none of my thoughts and ideas were on that list.
Mm.
It's how we turn a negative into a positive.
That's true. I'm going to ask you a follow-up on that in a second, but it is time. It is time. Not time to give away Aztec tickets yet. We're going to be doing that in the next segment. It is time for what today, Frank? What is it time for?
It is time for the biggest fan, which is already updated and ready to go on the sheet. So we don't have to scramble at the last second trying to kill time, even though that's kind of what I'm doing right now.
Well, while you're doing that, it is time to wish Rod a happy birthday. Happy birthday to Rod.
Yes.
Happy birthday to
Rod.
KG the elephant.
There you go.
In the chat as well. Both their birthdays today. So happy birthday. Go have a day. Go have a day on the. Nate was having a day for Rod today. He was at the butcher shop having a steak.
How do you feel knowing that you share a birthday on the same day as Craig Shipley Day?
What other day is it today?
Happy Craig Shipley Day.
Happy
today.
Craig Shipley Day. Happy Tony Gwynn Jr. Day today.
Happy Carlos Quinton Day. Happy Gene Tennis Day.
Gene
Happy
Tennis Day.
Kevin McReynolds Day.
Uh-huh. Anybody else you want to throw out there?
No, I only had those 4 on the list.
Happy Tony Gwynn Jr. Day. Everybody needs to remind him of that.
Yes.
When the show starts.
Please
all right.
Confuse the afternoon show more.
Yes. Love doing that. All right. Is Bruce Boudreau does stuff on NHL Network?
Yeah, that's what happens when you don't have a coaching job anymore.
Yeah. Remember he was the coach of the Ducks for a little bit. Anyway. All right. Congratulations to today's biggest fan, Wesley Johnson in San Diego. Wesley Johnson in San Diego. Give us a call in the next 10 minutes at 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973, and you'll qualify for a grand prize, 20 tickets for you and your friends for a night in our Odyssey Suite at a Padres game with all the fan staff later this season, catered by Spiro's Mediterranean Cuisine. Remember to register your name at 973thefansd.com/biggest-fan today. Wesley Johnson. You are today's biggest fan. Rod says it's Benito Santiago Day. He wore 8 for a minute. I don't know how to do the single digits.
18. Yeah, that's the thing.
We got to figure out a way to do the single digits later. Anyway, so Wesley Johnson, you're on the clock. Okay, let's get to follow-up question on the date stuff. So, glider port, you going to try it?
Yeah, why not? I mean, it is a little bit of a drive for me, but I don't mind that. I personally don't mind that.
Okay.
You said on the date things that are far away that have a long drive.
Yeah, well,
so
long drive that's something like you can't.
No, I'm thinking of the other person. Like I don't mind taking that drive, but somebody else might.
I think that was specifically for like you and her in a car for a long period of time.
Oh, okay.
Like you picked her up, and then you go somewhere far.
I wouldn't.
I
wouldn't want to pick them up on a first date either because that would be weird.
That's kind of weird now.
Yeah.
Not as weird as it was before.
Well, no, but I wouldn't even think about offering to pick somebody up on a first date because that's weird for them.
Okay, so now we're throwing out ideas there. So it needs to be like I think the breakdown we've gotten from my friend was needs to be in a public place.
Yeah, naturally.
Needs to have a natural out. Don't make it expensive.
Yeah.
And you will probably get date number 2. Anybody know where Sushi Sam is right now? Take some notes, bud. He never gets date number 2 because he goes too hard to paint on date 1.
See, I think
you don't want to set the bar too high though either, because then you gotta outdo the bar. You got to start low, work your way up. So we got glider port now. Knowing where all of the first dates are bad, and knowing where the good ones are, what do we think? Are we using our brain here? You have some other ideas pop in your mind?
I've gone with picnic at Shelter Island.
Picnic at Shelter Island.
Yeah, that's where I've gone. That's for the ones that I've picked, at least.
If you do that around sunset, it's even better because you have an out.
Yeah, the two the two other first dates that I went on last year were they picked were a coffee shop near where they worked, and she picked actually what's the place here? The
I'm gonna let you struggle.
Dave and Buster's.
Dave and Buster's.
She picked it. Yeah,
That's not a bad place either because you get to do stuff. It's like an activity. Somebody put in the mini golf's a great first date spot. See if they're athletic or not. The problem with the sushi date, dude, like
I found out I'm good at carnival games, not necessarily good at other games.
at athletic events.
Which is why I'm here.
You know what? You're a special teams player. You got a unique set of skills. Special teams guys have a unique set of skills. That's what you are.
Yes.
You'll be a long snapper. The sushi date, the problem with the sushi date can be messy. You don't want to look like a slob. Plus, you can't be the guy that if you're gonna do a sushi date, you gotta know how to use chopsticks. Don't be the dude that doesn't know how to use chopsticks.
Which I don't. So.
You don't know how to use chopsticks? Don't be the guy that gets the little kid aid either on the chopsticks. That's also embarrassing. Can't play yourself like that. You got to know your spots. You got to know your good spots. You got to know your strengths. You got to play to your strengths. Can't play to your weaknesses.
Augie, what are we doing here? Take her to 7 Mile Casino, home of Ben Higgins' favorite Kung Pao chicken.
Yeah, don't they do something for like Sammy's Woodfire Pizzas there and stuff?
I think so too.
All right. Let's get to what we're going to talk about. We got the college football playoff tonight. Now we're still deciding whether or not where we're going tomorrow to watch the game. I have USD basketball tonight, so I will not be posted up anywhere to go watch the game. But we're still listening to suggestions of where we should go Friday night to watch the game. Oregon and Indiana. I know Derek LeMace is going to be at McGregor's. I don't want to show up and see Oregon lose. I don't want to be the reason. Although I could have his shirt. I do have his shirt here that he still hasn't picked up. So let's talk about the college football playoff. The game tonight is Ole Miss and Miami. Ole Miss is a party school with a championship drought. I mean, this is a school that is kind of the traditional team when it comes to this day and age of college football, right? The traditional money, the old money team of the SEC. They're pretty fun to watch. I think Shambliss has done a great job. He basically carried the team against Georgia in their quarterfinal game. Miami looks pretty good against Ohio State. Of course, you had the story of Keontae Scott intercepting Julian Sayin. The fun story there, of course, was Keontae Scott had intercepted Aiden Sayin in the CIF championship game, which is Julian's older brother when Carlsbad played Helix in the CIF championship game a handful of years ago. Then he gets a pick six against younger brother Julian Sayin in a college football playoff game. Pretty cool story there. San Diego ties. So when looking at this matchup between Miami and Ole Miss, I think this one's wide open. I think this college football playoff has been a little bit wide open. There's not like that one dominant team that we have seen in years past, the juggernaut of Alabama, the juggernaut of Georgia. I mean, Ole Miss has made it a lot further than I thought they were going to after they took down the Georgia Bulldogs. I like the ride that Miami's on right now, Frank, and I think Miami might be able to take down Ole Miss. But to me, I like this matchup between Miami and Ole Miss.
My biggest concern with Miami is they've won both of their games scoring a total of 28 points, something like that.
Well, that first game was rough because of the wind and they couldn't move the ball. And I mean, the defense is balled out in that game, the Texas A&M Miami game.
Yeah. The defenses have been great, but Miami's offense just has not clicked in these two games. And
I'm not a huge believer in Carson Beck.
Yeah, no. And what you've seen with Ole Miss is they look like they really haven't missed a step. They have been fantastic. That was a shootout against Georgia that they ended up winning. I would not be surprised at all if Ole Miss walks away with this game.
The thing about Ole Miss, and we're going to get into this in just in the next segment. I think it's very interesting. I mean, this is the Final Four that we got is the Final Four that we were promised when the college football playoff came out.
Yeah,
this is the multiple new blood in the semifinals. Ole Miss, the party school of the championship drought, like I mentioned before, elite game day atmosphere, iconic traditions. They got the Grove. Have you seen their college baseball games? I mean, it's like Project X in the outfield with the students. They got that NFL talent lineage with the Mannings that went to Ole Miss, right? Jackson Dart's tearing it up now.
Yep.
They haven't won a title since 1962. Trophy case is shockingly empty for a modern SEC program. They haven't really won anything. A title for Ole Miss would redefine their identity forever. And it could probably break the SEC hierarchy. I mean, the SEC hasn't been in the national championship game in the last couple of years. And it's been Alabama, and it's been Georgia, and it's been LSU. And a long time ago it was Tennessee. It wasn't Ole Miss. Ole Miss was never really part of the conversation. Florida had been, as much as the SEC talks about how great they are, what a great conference they are. There's only really 4 teams that have done all the damage. Georgia, Alabama, Florida, and then every once in a while it was an Auburn, it was LSU, it's been a Tennessee, but there hasn't been a lot of dominant teams near the top, and Ole Miss can kind of restructure that by winning. Plus, I love the Lane Kiffin situation. He didn't mind letting these guys coach in this game when it was last week's game or the game before that, but now it's like, oh, they went further than I thought. It's time to get back to LSU and get ready for the LSU season. No, if you clear coaches to coach and they're coming over to LSU with you and you clear them to coach the first game, they should be cleared for the rest of the bracket, Frank.
No, 100%.
It's not like, oh,
yeah.
you can coach the first 2 games, but I need your help with the recruiting. No, forget that.
You lose. Sorry.
They're either allowed to coach or they're not. That's the deal. Lane is just stirring up some problems in college football, isn't he?
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
stirring up problems in college football. It kind of makes me want to root for Ole Miss in that situation. I mean, what's Ole Miss going to be like in the national championship? I mean, what a middle finger to Lane Kiffin if Ole Miss wins a national championship.
I would love to see it.
I love to see it just to see the drama. Add to the Bravo show that is college football. Add to it. I love watching it. I can't get enough. My Twitter feed right now, my X feed, the For You part is just all drama in college football because it's great. This is the college football playoff that we were promised. I kind of teased it in this segment, but what do I really mean? We'll talk about it when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show. Standings number Sports Station 97 through the Fan.
Come on, baby. Come on. Let's go. Oh, there we go.
Did the director's cabinet give you that shirt? Did you block out the noise and just swing it? We got a bunch of guys that let the noise get into their heads and they're swinging the club.
Okay. Ready. I like to think I'm making Kyle better. I've been hitting balls down the middle and Kyle decides, no, that's not good enough. All right, what goes further? Braden's drive or me throwing the football here? Oh! Shot. Wow. Hey, put that one in between commercials. Rocks. The next group coming up too. Ow! I don't know how good it is. The punch, 1840. Ha ha! Phillip Rivers.
He played quarterback in high school, by the way.
Falcon. They didn't have many quarterbacks in Colorado.
Falcon we got here. How we
I could just put it in my bag. Do you have one of those? Do you have one of these? We didn't win, but. Wow! That's Gary's 7th mulligan. I think he'll pick up that other one. Cigar guy. Trade myself to there.
That's not a bad putt. Cut. Get there!
Oh, we got a bird, right?
Under now. That was a great putt by you, by the way. I don't know why you want to be on camera.
What? One. Hey, bud. Go. Come on, baby. Come on. Let's go. Oh, there we go.
Did the director's cabinet give you that shirt? Did you block out the noise and just swing it? We got a bunch of guys that let the noise get into their heads and they're swinging the club.
Okay. Ready. I like to think I'm making Kyle better. I've been hitting balls down the middle and Kyle decides, no, that's not good enough. All right, what goes further? Braden's drive or me throwing the football here? Oh!
Shot.
Wow. Hey, put that one in between commercials.
Rocks.
Punch, 1840. Ha ha!
Phillip Rivers.
God, he played quarterback in high school, by the way.
Falcon.
They didn't have many quarterbacks in Colorado.
Falcon. We got here. How we playing?
I could just put it in my bag. Do you have one of those? Do you have one of these? We didn't win, but.
Wow! That's Gary's 7th mulligan. I think I'll pick up that other one.
Cigar
I'll
night.
trade myself to there.
That's not a bad putt. Cut. Get there!
Oh, we got a bird, right?
Under now. That was a great putt by you, by the way. I don't know why you want to be on camera.
What? One. Hey, bud. Go. Come on, baby. Come on. Let's go. Oh, there we go.
Did the director's cabinet give you that shirt? Did you block out the noise and just swing it? We got a bunch of guys that let the noise get into their heads and they're swinging the club.
Okay.
I like to think I'm making Kyle better. I've been hitting balls down the middle and Kyle's side. No, that's not good enough. All right, what goes further? Braden's drive or me throwing the football here?
Oh!
Shot.
Wow.
Hey, put that one in between commercials.
Rocks. The next group coming up too. Ow! I don't know how good it is.
Punch, 1840. Ha ha!
Phillip Rivers.
God, he played quarterback in high school, by the way.
They didn't have many quarterbacks in Colorado.
Falcon. We got here. How we playing?
I could just put it in my bag. Do you have one of those? Do you have one of these? We didn't win, but.
Wow! That's Gary's 7th mulligan. I think I'll pick up that other one.
Cigar
I'll
night.
trade myself to there.
That's not a bad putt. All right. We need to give away Aztec tickets for the game on Saturday. San Diego State plays Fresno State at Viejas Arena on Saturday. You can get your tickets at goaztecs.com. Here's how we're going to do this. Be the first caller to call in and tell us who is the Aztecs' current leading scorer on this year's team. Aztecs' leading scorer this year on the team. He's got the most points on the team and the most per game, so it doesn't really matter. Who is the Aztecs' leading scorer this year as of right now? First one to call in and answer that question will win today's contest. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. You will win tickets to the game against Fresno State. You know the answer to that question, Frank?
I do.
Good. All right, let's talk about this college football playoff. All right, I thought there was a good article on ESPN.com where we could kind of break it down a little bit further. And it's talking about how this is the college football playoff that people have wanted to see. They wanted to see new blood. They wanted to see teams earn it on the field. They were tired of just picking a champion at the end of the season by writers. They were tired of seeing just a computer system pick two teams and playing just a one-game championship because that was also stupid. And then they were like, oh, okay, let's make it a playoff. Hey, we made it a playoff. Here's 4 teams, and we're going to have a committee pick the teams that make the playoff. No, that's stupid too. They finally expanded to 12 teams. They still need a lot of work in the college football playoff, but you're starting to get closer and closer to what fans want, and that is parity and schools that are earning it on the field. And this is the first time you've been able to see it. I mean, first time in college football and the college football playoff era, which began in 2014, where the Final Four does not include Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, or Clemson, which was one of the first college football playoffs. This moment represents a true college football playoff expansion, not just more games, but actual access for programs that have been long shut out of the sports inner circle. You look at
who has made the college football playoff semifinal. 3 of the 4 schools wouldn't have been in the college football playoff in any other year, aside from last year when it was 12 teams. Before the 12-team era, Miami would have been playing in the Outback Bowl or the Gator Bowl, or whatever it is. They wouldn't be playing in the college football playoff. They got the 10 seed. Oregon, who's looked really good in their college football playoff. They were just one. They were the 5 seed. They were only the first school not to get a bye in this group of 12 this season, right? The one just off because the top 4 get a bye. Oregon. They would have made the college football playoff. They'd be in like the Rose Bowl. They'd be playing in the Rose Bowl against a former Pac-12 school. Wouldn't have an opportunity to win a national championship. Ole Miss, the 6th seed in the college football playoff. They wouldn't have sniffed the college football playoff semifinal. Indiana's the only school, because they got the 1 seed, that would be in every other year of the college football playoff, but they have their own fun story. It's the first time we've been able to see this. The 4-team college football playoff cracked the door. The 12-team college football playoff kicked it open, and I'm sure when they make more adjustments, it's going to be more parity in the Power 4. You're going to see different teams playing in the college football playoff semifinal. You're going to see more teams playing in the college football playoff. This isn't a fluke one-off. This is a legitimate power shift moment in college football, even if it might be temporary based on the current rules. It's different than past new blood attempts, too. Like, if you look at some of the previous outsiders that made the college football playoff, a lot of them weren't true outsiders. And we could make the case here for every team. But like Notre Dame, who was the runner-up in 2024, they're not really an outsider. They're a traditional program. Michigan, who won it in 2023, not really a outsider. You know, TCU had made it a couple of times before, and they had a great run, but the finish wasn't very good. But if you look at this year's semifinalist, it guarantees a first-time college football playoff era champion. These 4 schools have never won a college football playoff championship. Ole Miss, Miami, Indiana, Oregon. And it may be the boldest college football playoff championship or biggest national championship, change. Not just in the CFP era, but the BCS era. That's, since 1998. And possibly even the modern bowl era itself. You think about any type of combination out of the group. Oregon and Miami. I mean, Oregon has never won a national championship. They've been close, but they've never won a national championship. Miami hasn't been relevant since the late 90s, early 2000s, the last time that they were in this. It's been a long time coming for Miami. You look at Oregon and Ole Miss. Ole Miss has been like in the second or third tier of the SEC for 20 to 30 years. You look at Indiana. I mean, any matchup with Indiana is a crazy matchup because Indiana had not been really any type of football story. You can say what you want about the money they've spent. You can't really fully say they're a true Cinderella, but it's not a brand name. Indiana's not a brand name in football. Indiana's a brand name in basketball. They haven't even been a brand name in basketball in years. I mean, look at the teams individually. Let's start with Indiana, the number 1 seed. True Cinderella, not a brand name pretender, right? They spent some money, okay. Maybe that doesn't make them a Cinderella anymore. Maybe they're not a real true underdog because of the amount of money they spent in the transfer portal and recruiting and with Coach Signetti and with Mark Cuban having the connections. But Indiana's been playing football since 1887. They have not had a double-digit win season until the last 2 seasons. Think about that. They had not won double-digit games until last year. No outright Big Ten title since 1945. And with all of the downside of Indiana football, they've been able to win their first Big Ten championship game this year. They won their first Rose Bowl game ever, and now they're playing for a chance to play in the national championship game. Say what you want about the money with Indiana. That is new blood if I've ever seen it. That is an ultimate turnaround for a program. If Indiana wins it all, it becomes one of the greatest underdog champions in college sports history, surpassing even the mythology of Hoosiers basketball. And I would have to agree with that. With the money standpoint, it throws a different wrinkle into it. But at the same time, with the open playing field of NIL, as much as I don't like NIL, as much as I think a lot of it is a hunk of crap, and there's a lot of rules that need to be in place, this is what the parity is for. This now anybody can compete because everybody can spend money, and Indiana is showing that first and foremost. Take a look at Oregon. Oregon's the prototype for what Indiana is becoming. Oregon was irrelevant for most of the 20th century. Irrelevant. They had 3 Rose Bowls from 1893 to 1993, and then the Phil Knight Nike era took over. They transformed branding, recruiting, style. They got a Heisman Trophy winner in Marcus Mariota, multiple national title appearances. They have now taken over Southern California in terms of recruiting. They're basically the new USC. When you look at Oregon, and you look at this year's Oregon's team, that is a vintage USC team. Vintage USC team. They're athletic, they're big, they're fast, they're physical, they fly around to the ball, they got a really good defense with good linebackers and a lot of great talent. Most of their talent comes from Southern California. They have taken over as the new USC. I mean, SC fans can complain all they want, and they can cry in their beer if they want, but Oregon has surpassed SC as the new SC. Still haven't won a national championship, and with that could be a big storyline in college football. Oregon represents the bridge between the old blood and new money. You look at Miami, a sleeping giant trying to wake up. Miami dominated the late 80s and early 2000s, but has not been relevant on the biggest stage for over 20 years. Last truly meaningful postseason game was the 2001 BCS title. Since then, you got the endless, the U is back nonsense, minimal postseason hardware, and today's fans mostly know Miami through nostalgia documentaries and disappointment than just, oh, Miami football is really good. I mean, before the start of the season, if you asked any local high school player about the University of Miami, they'd probably be like, oh, yeah, like the U, like the ESPN 30 for 30. That's what you know about Miami. It's the same thing about USC. Most of the kids don't even know that SC was even good at football. I think about the last time USC was good at football. Like none of the current college kids were alive. None of the high school kids were alive. They don't know who Reggie Bush is. They might see some highlights here, some stories from their parents. They don't know who Reggie Bush is. Ask some high school kids right now. Some in San Diego might know. It's like, oh, didn't he play at Helix? That's about it. Ole Miss, party school of the championship drought. We talked about this. Their last recognized title was 1962. Got a very bare, empty trophy case for a modern SEC program. But the point of this conversation is this is what college football fans wanted. They wanted to see parity. They wanted to see other teams rise to the top. They wanted to see opportunity to get good teams that have good years in a national championship and not the same old brand schools and logos that get picked by media members that don't know what they're talking about and committee members that have their own agenda. You finally get to see that this year with the college football playoff. And sure, a lot of those schools still made the CFP, still got a bid into the college football playoff, but guess what? When you have to go through a gauntlet, when you have to go through and win multiple games and win the war of attrition, you start to see some of these schools get exposed. Look at Alabama. Look at Alabama, who shouldn't have been in the playoff to begin with. Everybody wants to talk about James Madison should be in the playoff. Tulane should be in the playoff. Alabama should have been in the playoff. Oklahoma was like a reach to make the college football playoff. There's a lot of teams out there that are better than SEC schools. I think you saw that. You're starting to see the power flux a little bit too. I mean, did anybody have a worse bowl season and college football playoff than the SEC? And you could say what you want about opt-outs and everything like that. Every school's got opt-outs. But if you look at the SEC, they are not the dominant conference anymore. It is over. They were getting away with paying athletes before anybody else was. and they kept it to themselves, and they had their own little gentleman's agreement about what certain players in terms of positions would cost. And you had people like Nick Saban undercutting it by offering slightly more to get the best talent. You had these dominant teams because they were the only ones that were paying athletes the amount of money that they were doing, or the amount of money that they were paying them. And then you had guys like Kirby Smart who learned that from Nick Saban and then went to Georgia and started undercutting Nick Saban at Alabama, right? And then Georgia got really good. And again, the SEC was dominating because they were paying guys millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, where everybody else was like, oh, we're not going to be able to do it. We can't do that. That's against the rules. And now the Big Ten. The Big Ten is starting to show what bleep you money is. They're starting to show the SEC what real money is. And they're showing it with the top of their rosters. And they're showing it with the alumni that they have. The Big Ten schools, and being these research institutions and being these big-time academic places that produce Fortune 500 company CEOs and very intelligent people, they got a lot of money. And guys like Mark Cuban, who come out of Indiana, who's an alumni of Indiana, who's been donating money to all of the engineering buildings and all the gigantic checks for the academic spots, is now writing checks for college athletes to play. And you're surprised, why all of a sudden is Indiana good? They got people with bleep you money. They don't have people with, I own a car dealership in Tuscaloosa money. And it's shifted. And you're seeing schools like Oregon, who I still consider really a Pac-12 school. They're more in line with the Pac-12 and West Coast, but they now can open the floodgates with their Nike warship that they have. And schools like Texas Tech and all the Texas schools that have a ton of oil money can start flaunting that oil money. And what is left for the SEC? Just being a passionate fan base, not having the money to really compete with anybody else in college football. And I think you see them get exposed. I think you saw them get exposed this bull break and this college football playoff season. Ole Miss can try to keep it alive, but if they lose to Miami and you see a situation where rich private school Miami is in the national championship going against either Indiana or Oregon that have the backing of a lot of very wealthy people, it's funny why the SEC keeps complaining about what the new era of NIL is, because it's not fun anymore when everybody else gets to pay. Why do you think Nick Saban stopped coaching? He saw the writing on the wall. He saw that the cupboards were about to be dry. He could say anything he wants about, like, oh, well, I don't like this, that, and the other. And he's right on a lot of those things. Doing his exit interviews with kids at Tuscaloosa, and players are like, how much you paying me? And what is my role going to be? That's all fair. But the real reason was he saw the writing on the wall. And he knew that other schools were going to be able to write big checks and probably outspend Alabama, and he got out. And a lot of these coaches are getting out because they know that's the case. You see it in college basketball, you're seeing it in college football, and now you're getting programs that are just continuing to write checks. Look, we talked about the first hour how there needs to be a lot of rules and regulations, which they do. But in the meantime, the Power Four has gotten a lot more similar. The Power Four has gotten a lot tighter in terms of competition. And the real losers right now, unfortunately, is the group of everybody else. They just can't afford to play that game. And the separation between the Power Four and the group of six is getting wider. But the difference between the ACC, the Big Ten, the Big 12, and the SEC is starting to shrink. College football playoff did its job. It needs some tweaks. But now you got a chance to see somebody new win a national championship, and I'm looking forward to that. When we come back, Eddie Brown will join us and talk what some of the top talent is playing in the college football playoff games to get ready for draft coverage. We'll also talk about some plays to make. Since fantasy football season is over, you could still play in the playoffs. We'll talk with Eddie about it when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Jose Sports Station, 97.3 The Fan.
Go. Right at him. Down though. It's a good ball though. One foul. Ah, what do we say? Pirates. Down. Good ball. Attaboy, Mike. Nice hit. Hey. Attaboy, good swing. God damn it, Sam. Too early, too early. Good piece, though. Good piece. Good ball. He didn't want that. It's good. Better pick me up. Oh, just close. We got two. Line. Out. Hey, we got one. That ball sounds soft. Hey, say hi. If he goes up, say it. Hey. You gotta tell him hi. If you see him go up, say up so I can burn. It's terrible. Hey, you see him throw it up like that, you just gotta go back. I gotta hear it. Hey, Peter, don't forget to tip it. A little bit. Tip. Hey, you got two. All right, leadoff guy hits the ball far. Third guy doesn't really know what he's doing. Good. He's not going to catch it. Nice. Good piece. Come on. I need that. So. Nice ball. Oh boy. That's a run. Atta boy. Right at him. That's right. We got 2 runs. Good swing. Too shallow, Peter. You gotta take away their shot though. So stay at the same distance. I'll move. Thank Holy shit. I was in. How the hell did we get these guys game 1? I mean, like, yeah, all the shit that are out here, we get the one team that actually knows what they're doing. I mean, the guys in front of us couldn't hit water if they fell off a boat, and we got these guys that are hitting corners and lines. Yep. Ooh. Oh, God. Nice. Let's go. Yep. Too much loft. All right, here we go. Got it. It's a good ball, but down. Good. It's a knock. I'll get the ball. I'll get the ball. I'll get the ball. I'll get the ball. Go. Come on, Sammy. Keep go. I swear to God. Down. Good. It's hard. Make him catch it. Get foul. Go foul. Good, that's fine. Hey, here we go. Good swing, though. Go. Right at him. Down, though. It's a good ball, though. One foul. Ah, what do we say? Pirates. Down. Good ball. Attaboy, Mike. Nice hit. Hey. Attaboy, good swing. God damn it, Sam. Too early, too early. Good piece, though. Good piece. Good ball. He didn't want that. It's good. Better pick me up. Oh, just close. We got 2. Line.
All guests on 97 to the Fan, join us in the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. We're going to get to Eddie Brown, who writes for the Union Tribune here in just a second. He does draft coverage for the NFL draft as well as fantasy football. We'll get to him. I do want to mention this. It's funny. Some reporter on JD Pickle for On 3 brings up a good point. By the end of tonight, we will either have, after the college football playoff game between Miami and Ole Miss, at the end of tonight, we will either have a team playing for a national championship without their head coach they started the year with, or a team playing for a national championship in their home stadium in their road uniforms. College football playoff, college football script throwing gas.
Love it.
Cinema. All right, speaking of cinema, let's get to our usual Thursday guest. And it's usually during the regular season when we talk a lot of fantasy football. As the offseason continues, we'll have him on to do some draft updates as we get ready for the Combine and the Senior Bowl and all that fun stuff. He writes to the San Diego Union Tribune. He is a great guest for us each and every Thursday.
First guest of 2026.
First guest of 2026, too. Eddie Brown joining us on the Braden Surprenant Show. Eddie, what's going on? How was your holidays? Hopefully it was a decent season for your fantasy football teams. Eddie, you there? There he is. There you go.
Yeah. Happy New Year, guys. Everything was good and had some good times with the family and got a little bit of rest and ready to go for 2026.
How'd the fantasy teams do?
Ended up getting third in one of my head-to-head leagues, and that's primarily because Josh Allen completely abandoned me in the semifinals. And I ended up finishing second in my Roto league, my old school touchdown-only league, which is my best finish in a little bit. So I was pretty happy with that one.
That's great news to hear. I mean, it's always hard to play with fantasy football. We're going to talk more about that in just a little bit, but I know you transition into draft coverage, Eddie. I mean, I know you've been doing it near the midway through the NFL season, looking at a lot of college games. We got two very important college football playoff games tonight and tomorrow. We'll start with tonight's game, Miami and Ole Miss, before we talk about other things that we discovered in the NFL draft with now a draft order for the first handful of picks. But in tonight's game, you put out an article, a couple of players to watch for when it comes to NFL draft. How do you? What are some players that NFL fans should look for as they watch the college football playoff game tonight between Miami and Ole Miss?
Yeah, well, one of the best defenders in the draft class this year, Ruben Bain Jr. for the Hurricanes. I mean, he's turned it on. He's taken it kind of to another level during the college football playoff. He's somebody that I think, obviously, if quarterback wasn't an issue for the top two teams for the Raiders and Jets picking number one, number two, I think Bain would have a really good chance of going number one. I think some people kind of question his length a little bit, but he's just a dominant force from the interior, and he can rush off the edge as well. And that defense is really, really good. So there's a lot of guys on that defense that I would pay attention to. I think also Carson Beck is kind of an interesting thing. I think both quarterbacks are interesting stories. Beck is somebody I think as of the end of 2024, a lot of people thought was the best quarterback in college football. Inconsistency kind of plagued him at Georgia. He ended up transferring to Miami, and guess what? Inconsistency followed him. But he's a winner. He has all the prototypical size and arm talent and intangibles that I think NFL teams seek in a starting quarterback. So it would be interesting to see if he can play his way up the draft boards a little bit. And I think the other quarterback is the one I'm really interested in. He's kind of one of the better stories of the college football season, Trinidad Chambliss. Transferred from Ferris State after leading them to a D2 national championship, was a backup for the Rebels, ended up getting an opportunity to start because of injury, and he's kind of lit the world on fire ever since then. I think it's going to be interesting. I know he wants to come back. He wants to be eligible for a sixth season because of the injury, redshirt earlier in his career. I'm not sure the NCAA is going to grant him that. So if they don't, then he's going to be one of those guys that might be looking to get into like the tier 2 quarterbacks for the draft.
Let's talk about the quarterbacks real quick before we talk about Friday's game between Oregon and Indiana. Obviously, some big quarterbacks in that game. That game probably has the quarterbacks that are near the top of your draft board. But how would you evaluate this year's quarterbacks class going into the NFL draft? I mean, everybody needs a quarterback, it seems like. It's like pitching in Major League Baseball. A lot of teams picking in the top 10 need a quarterback. There's a handful of teams that don't. They could probably trade out and get some better picks. But how would you overall early evaluation of this year's quarterback class going in the draft?
I think it's disappointing than what we anticipated this time last year. I think some of the guys that we thought would be in the first round discussion, Garrett Nussmeier, LSU, even Carson Beck potentially playing himself there with the Hurricanes, Cade Klubnik and Clemson, Drew Allard from Penn State. All of those guys disappointed on some level, were inconsistent, had inconsistent seasons, or in Allard's case, got hurt after he started off inconsistent. So I think all those guys are going to be mid-level, like mid-tier, mid-round guys, and which makes it kind of interesting going into the draft because I'm susceptible to believing that at least one of those guys are going to end up being a starting quarterback in the NFL. So there's probably a chance to steal. But for me, it's all, I mean, if you're an NFL personnel, guy, like you're excited for Oregon and Indiana because the top 2 quarterbacks in this class, assuming Dante Moore decides to leave. And I find it hard that I'm kind of struggling. I thought he'd stay before he kind of started skyrocketing up boards, but once Will Klein took the job in Kentucky, and now it's pretty much guaranteed with the Raiders and Jets picking 1-2 that he's probably going to be a top 2 pick. I find it hard to believe that he's going to turn that down. So you get to watch the top 2 prospects in one setting and a lot of other good players for Oregon and Indiana tomorrow.
Kind of a follow-up on that as we talked to Eddie Brown, who writes to the San Diego Union-Tribune. He covers the NFL draft as well as fantasy football. When it comes to the quarterback situation, I mean, now you got guys in college football in the transfer portal that are getting made more than quarterbacks are getting drafted in rookie deals. I mean, how much has that been swaying, and how much does that affect the NFL draft moving forward? Because, I mean, they just saw Sorsby from Cincinnati transfer to Texas Tech, and he's getting more money than Shedeur Sanders is, and he was a better quarterback, it seemed like, in college than Sorsby currently is, but I guess time will tell. How does that affect the quarterback draft, and how many quarterbacks do you think are going to end up staying longer in college because they can make more money in college than they can in the NFL draft?
Well, I think if you don't, get an assessment that you're a first round pick, then I think you stay. I mean, it's as simple as that. For somebody like Moore, he's probably going to command a pretty hefty NIL money, but if he goes 1 or 2 to the Raiders or Jets, and you're talking about, $50 million plus guaranteed. And as far as I know, there's not a college out there that can match that. I know it's kind of the wild, wild west right now, but I don't think that's possible. But yeah, if you don't get an assessment from the NFL that you're basically a guaranteed number 1 guy, then I think your options are open. I think you have to really be honest with yourself and kind of look in the mirror and say, hey, am I ready to take that next step? Because for even the best prospects, it's a leap. I mean, we can look at like somebody like Trevor Lawrence, who was kind of considered a can't miss prospect, and he flashed that type of brilliance early on, but he was inconsistent for most of his career until Liam Cohen got there. So, it's a lot easier now, though. I mean, the pool to the NFL used to be, much stronger than it is, but you're right. You can make better decisions, and you can basically auction your talent off every year.
We're talking with Eddie Brown, who writes for the San Diego Union-Tribune, covers fantasy football, gives us some insight on that as well as the NFL draft. So we talked about game 1. Let's talk about game 2. You already mentioned the quarterbacks, but what are some other prospects in the Oregon-Indiana game that NFL fans should be on the lookout for?
Yeah, doing my research for these 2 write-ups, I basically jotted down 40 players that I really have to dig into. I wrote about 12. And 25 of those players are in the Oregon-Indiana game. A lot of really great defensive linemen for Oregon. Amari Washington is one of the guys that I'm really excited to see. Isaiah World, a local kid, Lincoln High grad, spent 4 years in Nevada before joining the Ducks this year. He's an offensive tackle. I think he's going to probably has a chance to go in the mid rounds. Maybe can get up into the back end of day 2 if he has a good performance at the Senior Bowl in Mobile, and also, plays well against this Indiana defense. I think Indiana outside of Mendoza, I think the receivers are really somebody to watch. Elijah Surratt is somebody that I'm excited to see. He's kind of proven himself kind of be the perfect counterpart to Mendoza. They both obviously have the clutch gene, and it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out tonight and if they can advance. D'Angelo Pons is one of my favorite players in this draft class so far, cornerback for Indiana. He's undersized. He's 5'9", he's 170, but he plays like he's 6'2", 220. I mean, he's just exciting to see, and he's a track star. He has bona fide track star speed. He plays physical. He plays downhill like he's a safety and run support. He excels in man or zone coverage. It's going to be interesting to see where he ends up in the draft because he has day 1 talent, but because of his size, he might fall to day 2.
Let's talk about some fantasy football over the weekend. Obviously, the college football is the next 2 days, but we have 2 NFL games on Saturday, a triple header on Sunday, and a game on Monday. There's a lot of other ways that you can get involved with fantasy football over the weekend, even though everybody's seasons are done. How much do you dabble into the, couple of games, some lineups in the postseason? And what's the best advice in terms of plan of attack? Do you make a lineup for the whole weekend? Do you try to go game by game, maybe a couple of games, couple slates? How do you address the daily fantasy for a lot of people that might be wanting to have some skin in the game for fantasy football after their seasons are over?
Sure. I mean, it's kind of pick your own adventure, right? Like game by game is real easy because you've got a very condensed talent pool, and it's just about correlating. It's basically about telling a story. How do you think the game's going to play out, right? So if you take the Rams and the Panthers, well, the Rams are 10.5 point favorites, so you're thinking, okay, they're probably going to get a lead and they're probably going to control the clock. So you're thinking Kyron Williams or Blake Corum's going to have a big day. So you try to tell yourself a narrative and then build a lineup around it. If you're going for the whole slate, then it's all about game environment. And I'm looking at the schedule right now, and I'm thinking like most of these games outside of the Monday night game are all kind of expected total game totals are like in the mid 40s, but one game particularly stands out, and that's the Bills Jaguars. 51.5 point, I think, over under. That's a pretty big environment. Anytime we see Josh Allen get pushed, it's in a competitive game. If the Bills are in a competitive game, then we see Super Josh manifest, and that's always gold for fantasy. So if you're thinking that, he's going to have one of his Super Josh performances to get the Bills into the second round and to beat a really red hot Jacksonville team, then I think that's a good game to build your lineup around as far as correlation, to have like Josh Allen at quarterback and then maybe bring it back with some of the Jaguar receivers.
Eddie, appreciate the time as always. Look forward to talking to you again as we continue during this playoff season. Always a big help, and enjoy the football this weekend. 5 days in a row of college and NFL football. Should be a fun time.
Oh, it's going to be good stuff.
Eddie Brown joining us on the Braden Surprenant Show. He is a writer for the Standing Union Tribune. He's been there since 2008. He's done a really good job. We appreciate him joining us each and every Thursday. I'm excited for football the next couple of days.
Yeah, absolutely.
College game tonight's gonna be good. I gotta get the USD early, post up somewhere, get the game going.
Yeah.
Miami, Ole Miss tonight. Not really tonight. It's 4:30. It's like it's an afternoon game here on the West Coast. 4:30 kickoff. We got Indiana, Oregon tomorrow. We got 2 NFL games on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, 1 on Monday. We got a lot to break down tomorrow, Frank, in the football world. Plus, we'll talk about the college basketball games that happen tonight. And get you ready for the weekend in sports. That's coming up in the next show. Gwynn and Chris are coming up next.